And welcome to you on BBC 5 Sports Extra. I'm John Murray, and this is the sound of the Metropolitano, this super stadium in the east of the Spanish capital. We are here for the first leg of this Champions League round of 16 tie between Atletico Madrid, third in La Liga, and Tottenham Hotspur, in danger of relegation from the Premier League. And when I say we, sitting to my right, Paul Robinson, former England goalkeeper, Champions League goalkeeper. Brilliant atmosphere that we're sitting right in the middle of here, Paul.
John, this is wonderful. Absolutely spectacular occasion here tonight. What a wonderful stadium. The atmosphere is incredible. It's been building all afternoon. As you walk to the stadium, you see the red and white jerseys. The Tottenham supporters coming to support their team. They're not in a good place, and I genuinely think this is a game that Tottenham can really do without. But actually, when you cross that white line and you get on the grass and you see the atmosphere, you see the supporters, it's a game that they have to win for some kind of momentum. Are Tottenham going to win the Champions League? Realistically, very much unlikely. But actually, momentum to take into a Premier League season finale is what they need. They need some kind of performance tonight, John.
Tottenham coming here in their worst run of form all season. 5 defeats in a row, and of course they've lost all 3 under Igor Tudor, appointed until the end of the season. And on Sunday they go to Liverpool, to Anfield in the Premier League. Currently Tottenham just 1 point above the relegation zone, but they can put that out of their mind tonight, because this is the Champions League second leg in London next week, and we're sitting here, the place is absolutely packed, and we are waiting for the teams to emerge. We can see on our screen that they are making their way out to the side of the pitch, but inside the bowl of the stadium, 3 tiers and a mosaic around every tier. All around the bottom is blue, and then the top 2 tiers, the red and white of Atletico Madrid, and to our right, rather amusingly, a banner which has Andy Capp on the left of it. The former, was it the Daily Mirror? I think it was the Daily Mirror.
What was his wife? Was she Flo? Was his wife Flo? Was that right?
That's right. Well remembered. Anyway, Andy Capp is kissing the badge of Atletico Madrid, and it says "De tus colores me enamore," which means your colours is love. And the teams are walking out now. Atletico Madrid in bright red tracksuit tops. We can see the blue shorts and the royal blue socks. And Tottenham, who'll be playing in the all-black kit tonight, actually are wearing black tracksuit tops as well. And as the Champions League theme plays here in this stadium, you can hear the chorus of whistles. Somebody else doesn't like UEFA.
Like UEFA or not, but what an occasion this is. I mean, it's a picture, it really is. The tifo away to our right-hand side, the colour, the noise, the vibrance that the supporters bring. I said to you, didn't I, 25 minutes before kick-off, I looked around the stadium, there's hardly anybody here. I said, is this going to be empty tonight? You said to me, don't worry, it'll fill up.
Well, you know, you've played in the Bernabeu. I've been here many times. Went to the Vicente Calderón to watch Atletico Madrid as well. We're very fortunate, looking forward to the second leg of a Madrid double for us tomorrow night, when it is Real Madrid against Manchester City. But I have to confess, it always feels to me that the atmosphere is better for Atletico Madrid than it is for a Real Madrid match, by and large.
It is a little bit special. And I mean, we both commented on the newly erected scoreboard, or is it what? I mean, you can't really call it.
Wrap around
you can't
the
really
roof.
call it a scoreboard, can you? It's like the only way you can describe it is like a basketball arena. You know, when you go to a basketball arena, you see the scoreboard that wraps around the whole roof and encloses the whole arena. Spectacular.
It is, and that is lit up at the moment with a blue background, and Atletico de Madrid is written in 4 different places. One of them is out of our sight. The roof of the stadium lit up in red. The teams just posing for their photographs. Atletico Madrid, I mean, both managers, Diego Simeone and Igor Tudor, have made multiple changes from their matches at the weekend. So 6 changes for Atletico Madrid. Solot, the top scorer, scored a hat-trick in his last Champions League match. He's on the bench tonight. The club captain, Koke, only a substitute. Molina as well, World Cup winner. with Argentina only on the bench. However, still plenty of talent. The Atletico team, the captain tonight, Oblak, the excellent goalkeeper, a back four of Pubel, Lenormand, Hansko and Ruggeri. Then in midfield, Marcus Llorente and Johnny Cardoso, the American international, with Giuliano Simoni, the son of Diego, on the right. Ademola Lookman on the left-hand side, the former Everton youngster. Remember, he played for Fulham and Leicester as well. So he's on the left, having recently joined Atletico Madrid from Atalanta. And then the highly experienced Antoine Griezmann with the former Manchester City man Julian Alvarez up front. And the Tottenham team tonight, Solanke's on the bench, Palhinha's on the bench, so is Vicario as well. Antonin Kinski plays in goal. He's joining in with the Tottenham huddle at the moment. Atletico Madrid are ready for the off, Tottenham in their huddle. Three central defenders, Danso, the returning captain, Romero, and Mickey van der Ven. Porro on the right, returning Jed Spence on the left, Sarr and Gray in the middle, and then Kolumwani and Matthias Tell either side of Richarlison.
Yeah, it does look like that Igor Tudor is going to play a back three once again tonight. Romero will be in the middle of that, Danso on the right, and Van der Ven on the left of a back three.
We've got a Dutch referee this evening, Serdar Gozubjuk, and he blows the whistle now, and it is Tottenham who are immediately attacking down the left-hand side with Richarlison, but the ball is deflected out of play for a throw into Atletico in their own right back area. And listen to this is a proper atmosphere. The flags in the end, low down behind the goal that is being defended by Oblak. That's where most of the noise is coming from. And it is Tottenham on the attack. Tell with a cross in the middle, Kolumwani. Oh, he's lost it, Oblak, but they've been able to scramble it away. What a mess that was defensively from Atletico. The first danger that Tottenham have posed, and Kolumwani in the middle, very nearly. If it had fallen to him then, well, that would have been 1-0.
Well, inside the first minute of the game, Tottenham started really well. Matthias Tell it was down the left-hand side, whips the ball across the 6-yard box with his left foot. It's always going away from Oblak. It looked an easy claim for the goalkeeper, but as the ball's drifting away, he fails to get hold of it. And Kolumwani could have had a simple opportunity. Atletico Madrid somehow managed to smuggle the ball away. Tottenham have a throw-in over on the far side. Looks like they're going to deploy a long throw in the filling the 6-yard box up.
Yep, Danso, the long throw specialist, actually takes a short throw to Spence. Then it's fired into the edge of the box to Tell. Tell is surrounded by red and white stripes. Tottenham in the all black this evening with the white numbers on the back. Tell's forced to take it right out to the far side, and actually in the end runs it out of play.
It's going to be interesting to see how Tottenham approach this game tonight. Their attitude, their application towards games recently has been questioned. Igor Tudor coming in, he certainly hasn't had the new bounce that any manager would have expected or wanted, but the players' attitude and application has been questioned. But tonight is a game that I'm not so sure that many of these Tottenham players will want. Are Tottenham going to progress to the Champions League final? Where is this competition on the priority list? Premier League survival is of absolute important for them. But actually the players tonight that are selected, they'll be looking towards the weekend. Nottingham Forest at Liverpool, then Nottingham Forest. That's the biggest games for Tottenham. So tonight's game it's all about coming away from here with some kind of a performance, I think, from Tottenham's point of view.
So that is Paul Robinson. Atletico Madrid 0, Tottenham 0, and this is a good front foot start from Spurs this evening. Atletico, I'm not sure they've been out of their own half yet, and ball played forward from the back by Hansko, and here they come now attacking with Lookman, who's able to get the ball down on the left wing. Lookman, who's made a very good start actually with Atletico. This is just his 11th appearance. He's already scored 4 goals in his first 6 appearances. So he's a talented player, Lookman, the former Everton youngster. Remember, he was at Charlton before that. And Atletico go back towards the halfway line. There is a choice of listening this evening. We've already brought you on 5 Live commentary on Liverpool's defeat in their first leg. If you switch across to 5 Live now, you will hear the first leg of Newcastle against Barcelona. And Atletico Madrid have won a free kick on the far side, and that is a yellow card for Jed Spence, putting in the challenge on, I think, Pubel. Whoever it is has gone down and stayed down. It's a free kick and Spence an early yellow card.
It was a clumsy challenge from Spence, it really was. I mean, this early on in the game, Pubil's going nowhere. I mean, he's got his back to the Tottenham goal, 10 yards inside the Tottenham half. He's all he's got to do is recycle the ball, keep possession to his central defenders. Spence goes clattered into him. There's absolutely no need for that challenge in that area.
In fact, it's Griezmann who's the player who was fouled by Spence. We should have known, because he's got a sort of silver rinse, Griezmann, at the moment. Remember when he used to have the George Michael blonde bouffon? Well, he's gone all, well, silver head. He's the silver fox, but he's all right. He's shaken off that knock. He didn't need treatment, and Atletico Madrid are back with the ball. First time really that they've got into the rhythm in this match, as the ball is played over here to Ruggeri, and Ruggeri over the top for Lookman, who's got away from Porro. He's crossed into the penalty area. Griezmann was sliding in, defender was with him as well, wasn't able to get any contact. Oh, that's lost on the edge of the penalty area. Cardoso comes back to the edge of the box. Llorente is there, now out to the far side. Atletico Madrid suddenly all over Tottenham. Llorente with a cross, and goalkeeper Kinski is happy to see that disappear over the top of the near post and over the behind the goal for a goal kick to Tottenham 0-0.
That's what they can do to Atletico. So quickly turn defence into attack, so quickly in the wide areas. They've got Simeone down one flank, but that was the left-hand side. That was Ademola Lookman on the left-hand side, gets around Pedro Porro. Tottenham, when they're out of possession, yes, they're in this back three, back five out of possession, but they still defend very, very narrowly, which gives Atletico the chance.
Kinski slipped. He's given the ball away to Lookman. Alvarez, square, Llorente scores! Right foot, bottom corner. That is an absolute horror for the Tottenham goalkeeper, Antonin Kinski, who slipped as he was looking to play the ball out. Got it all wrong. Atletico Madrid, ruthless. Llorente scores, and it's 1-0 to Atletico.
It's come from nowhere. I mean, we were quite happily talking, weren't we? Talking amongst each other. It was a harmless goal kick. Kinski gets it completely wrong. It's an absolute disaster for the Tottenham goalkeeper. Coming into the side tonight to replace Vicario. It's like he's got the wrong boots on. He's got the wrong studs on. He's gone to play a ball out to the right-hand side to Pedro Porro, which should be just a simple pass. He's slipped. He's fallen over. He's almost made double contact with the ball. Straight into the Atletico Madrid attackers, and you will not see a worse mistake from a goalkeeper this season. Tempted to say that was a really poor one, John, wasn't it?
Just whether there was an element of hesitation in his mind, I don't know what it was, and he did appear to slip as he was taking the goal kick, and he just passed it straight to the opposition.
That was awful. It really was poor from the goalkeeper. I mean, he's just slipped.
Very shortly, 5 Live will be joining us for an update, but that is a real setback for Tottenham. 1-0. It's a real horror for Tottenham to concede a goal in the way that they did, the early goal as well. Atletico leading 1-0, and it's all down to Antonin Kinski, brought into play tonight by Igor Tudor, was taking a goal kick. Whether there was some hesitation in his mind, he certainly seemed to slip, and he passed the ball straight out to Lookman. Lookman across to Griezmann, and in the end it was Llorente on the edge of the box with a pinpoint left foot finish into the bottom corner. And Atletico were ahead, Paul Robinson.
Oh, there's absolutely no way to dress it up, John. It's an absolute terrible mistake from the goalkeeper. It's a howler. I mean, it looks like he's got the wrong boots on. He just slips. It's a completely innocuous goal kick. Looks to play out, looks to play a simple pass to Pedro Porro. Slips over, plays the ball into Alvarez, who in turn puts it to Llorente. Taps it almost into an empty net to the bottom right-hand corner. Terrible mistake from Tottenham.
Tottenham made a promising start, but Atletico Madrid have been ruthless and lead by 1-0. And we'll continue with the commentary here on Sports Extra after Atletico Madrid took the lead in the 6th minute through Llorente, who, remember, scored 2 goals at Anfield this season, as ball played in from the right from Simeone, who seemed to suggest he was blocked by Van de Ven. And after what was a promising opening in the very first opening minutes of the match from Tottenham, now suddenly Atletico Madrid have just taken absolute charge of this.
And the volume inside this stadium has just gone up another level, hasn't it? The home supporters, they've just got that little bit of confidence that they needed from nowhere as well. As you say, it was completely innocuous goal kick. We see it so many times. The two central defenders stood on either edge of the 6-yard box. Goalkeeper plays it between the two. The ball's played back to Kinski, and he looks to play a simple pass to Pedro Porro. Simply slips inside his own 6-yard box, hands the ball to Atletico Madrid, and all of a sudden, within 2 passes, the ball's in the back of the net, the volume's up, and that's it. A confidence-less Tottenham, a 1-0 down, away from home, looking again for something.
Yeah, and if Atletico Madrid are able to score a quick second, you know, there's every chance that this could become quite ugly for Tottenham this evening, lacking in confidence, and suddenly Atletico are finding their men. They're hitting crisp passes, sharp passes, moving the ball quickly. That's exactly what they're doing in the central third of the field, although Kolo Muani has won it back for Tottenham, but in comes the challenge on him from Hansko. It does bounce back though for Ruggeri, the left back, who's able to head it back to his goalkeeper Oblak. And the thing to worry Tottenham is that at times this season, and they have been quite inconsistent, Atletico Madrid, but when they've been on, they've been on. They put 5 past Real Madrid, remember, in the early season. Biggest win they've had against Real Madrid for decades. Won the first leg of the Copa del Rey 4-0 against Barcelona before they lost the second leg 3-0. And they've had some big wins in the Champions League as well. However, here's Archie Gray for Tottenham. Spurs trying to get back into the match. Kell hits the shot from 25 yards. Oblak has to make the save, but it was routine. He was able to drop forward onto it.
It's never going to be easy coming here, is it? I mean, when the draw was made and you see Tottenham Hotspur's predicament in the Premier League, you look at it and you just think, you know, repeating the same phrase, this is just a game that they don't need. I think for Tottenham, it's how they come out of this game. I don't think any Tottenham fan that's here tonight, up away high on our left-hand side, is here tonight expecting Tottenham to win the Champions League. But I think it's how they come out of tonight, what type of result they get. They need to come out of tonight without being scarred, with some kind of a performance that they can take forward.
So it is Atletico Madrid 1, Tottenham 0. The early slip from Kinski from the goal kick, which gave possession back to Atletico Madrid, and in the end, Marcos Llorente playing in midfield tonight with the flowing fair hair, as Van de Ven is dispossessed, and that is given as a foul, which has enraged Atletico Madrid. Foul by Griezmann on Van de Ven, but it's a free kick to Tottenham halfway inside their own half. As I say earlier, Galatasaray winners in the first leg against Liverpool, but the second leg at Anfield next week. We have 6 matches in the Championship this evening. Leicester City are already 2-0 up on Bristol City, looking for their first win under Gary Rowett, as Atletico Madrid have to put the ball out of play for a Tottenham throw, which they might take quickly. Portsmouth 0, Swansea 1, and in League 1, Barnsley 1, Cardiff 1, Doncaster 0, Luton 1, Stevenage 1, Leyton Orient 0 are early goals, as are in League 2, Barrow 0, Bristol Rovers 1, Fleetwood 1, Cheltenham 0, and Gillingham 0, MK Dons 2. All of the other matches still goalless, but Tottenham break forward. Here is Spence, gets the bounce of the ball, but it actually ran away from him into the penalty area, and Oblak was able to come out and pick up.
I'd be surprised if the assistant down on this near side didn't put his flag up there. Jed Spence looked a long way offside. First time for a while that Tottenham had any kind of decent possession. Worked it quickly down to the left-hand side. Jed Spence, I think, was in an offside position.
Ball played forward by Pubel, who is playing at right back, can play in central defence. One of my Atletico Madrid friends said he should be in the Spain squad, Pubel, for the World Cup. Here is Kolo Muani down the right, but overran it, and before he tried to cut it back, it was over the white line and behind for a goal kick.
You're too polite. Overran it. That was terrible. It was a big touch. I mean, he was in complete control of the ball. His first touch was decent. He looked to go around the outside of the defender, and then he just hit it with the outside of his boot, and he kicked it out for a goal kick.
So it is a goal kick. Atletico Madrid leading Tottenham by 1-0. And really, Spurs here have got to dig in, make sure Atletico don't get that second goal. And Richarlison turning and shooting from a couple of yards inside the box. It's actually a poor piece of distribution from Atletico Madrid that gave the ball back to Tottenham. Header straight through the middle to Richarlison, who hit the shot on the turn as he swiveled but wide of the left post.
Well, the gift was almost reciprocated. Jan Oblak at the other end, he puts the ball down for a goal kick on his 6-yard line. He plays that straight pass into midfield. It's intercepted by Tottenham, headed straight back into Richarlison, he's quite creative actually. Richarlison tries to take it first time on the swivel. It goes high and wide, but it's half an attempt for Tottenham.
As the ball is brought out from the back by Pube, looking for the run of Llorente. Oh, and a slip by Van de Ven. Griezmann's in, one-on-one, goes past Danson, scores. It's 2-0. It's 2-0, and it's another calamity for Tottenham. Van de Ven slips over this time, and Griezmann was in. You do not give him chances like that, and he was so calm. Beat Danso, planted it past Kinski, and it is Atletico Madrid 2, Tottenham 0.
Oh, it just goes from bad to worse for Tottenham. I mean, that's such a simple goal from Atletico Madrid. Straight ball up, 2 Tottenham defenders over on the left-hand side. There's Danzo, there's Van de Ven, there's Romero. All 3 of them try and have a go at clearing the ball. Actually, it comes to Van de Ven in the middle. Such a simple opportunity for him to clear. Slips over in the middle of the goal, allows Griezmann one-on-one with the goalkeeper. Checks inside on his left foot. There's only going to be one end result. What are we, 13 and a half minutes into this game? Atletico Madrid, they haven't had to do anything in this game. They've been gifted 2 goals, 2 mistakes. I mean, it's been such poor defending from Tottenham. The goalkeeper to start with, the defence in the second place. I mean, for Atletico Madrid now, 2-0 up in this tie. For a Tottenham team completely devoid of confidence. Looking at the body language of those people down there in black shirts, it's not a good situation for Tottenham at the moment. It really isn't.
It's gone from bad to worse for Tottenham. Van de Ven, a crucial slip as it was headed back to him, and with great calmness.
Do you know what, John?
Griezmann put
the
it away.
goalkeeper and the boots.
And they're in again, and it's going to be walked into the net. There's been another 2 goals for Atletico Madrid. It's gone from bad to worse to much worse for Tottenham. Atletico have scored 3 times in the first 15 minutes of the match, and it's Kinski again at fault. The ball was played back to him, and he completely missed his kick, and it was just walked into the net to make it 3-0. Alvarez with that one, and the second goal came from a slip by Van de Ven that let in Griezmann. So Llorente, Griezmann, and now Alvarez, and Tottenham are all over the place.
John, it's an absolute disaster. Tottenham, they're making errors all over the pitch. This is a game they didn't need, and they certainly do not need this now.
Atletico Madrid 3, Tottenham 0, and already you would think there is no way back for Spurs in this tie. So 3-0, and, well, Kinski has been at fault for 2 of the goals, and with 16 minutes on the clock, remarkably, Igor Tudor is going to make a change, and he's going to change his goalkeeper, and Vicario is now going to come on, and Kinski is having to run off the field, and his Tottenham teammates Danso and Romero and Pedro Porro have all come across to him and shown Kinski some support in here. But that, for him, that is a humiliation from him. And Kinski walks off the field. He's not gone to the bench. He's not gone to the bench. We didn't see Igor Tudor. Igor Tudor did not come across to the goalkeeper that he picked to start this match. And Kinski has just walked straight down the tunnel.
Wow. I do not think I've ever seen that on a football pitch. That is a huge call from the manager. 16 and a half minutes into the game. Yes, the goalkeeper was at fault for 2 of the goals. That is a devastating blow. Kinski's a 22-year-old who's signed for the club. He's had very little opportunities. He's been picked for tonight. He slipped over twice and made 2 disastrous errors that have led to goals. But that is confidence destroying from the manager. That is a huge decision from the manager. That is a decision of a manager that is massively under pressure. The goalkeeper Kinski came off, and immediately Romero, Danso, Van de Ven walked over to him, put his arm around him, and he's gone down the tunnel. I don't think I've ever seen that before, John.
I don't think I have. And immediately you think, well, has he injured himself when he
wasn't injured.
When he miskicked to let Alvarez in to score the third goal? He clearly wasn't, because he ran off the field. And Polina from the bench, one of the substitutes tonight, Polina actually got up and went down the tunnel with Kinski. So he's not taken a position on the bench. Well, what a remarkable start to this first leg of this round of 16 tie. Atletico Madrid already 3-0 up and looking for another one as the ball is cut back from the right-hand side by Simeone. They're all over them, and now a shot blasted in by Ruggeri. That rebounds to Llorente on the edge of the box. Griezmann, he scored the second. Llorente scored the first. Alvarez scored the third. Here's Alvarez again. Tottenham are at 6s and 7s. Ball played out to the left-hand side to Ruggeri. Then back to Lookman, left corner of the box. Atletico Madrid, they're looking for a fourth now. Alvarez again actually goes back towards the halfway line to Lenormand and Hansko. And Atletico Madrid, they're already 3-0 up. Chances are they've already got this tie won, but they're sensing that they could go 4-5-6 because Tottenham are all over the place. Here's a cross from Puvel on the right-hand side, deflects into the penalty area. That is chested down, played away, it's given away to Griezmann. Now Llorente on the edge of the box. Still Llorente, it's scrambled away, stabbed away by Sarr, and now it will be run away for Tottenham by Colomwani, but he is dispossessed. And now, again, Atletico Madrid come with Llorente in the centre circle, but he goes back towards the halfway line.
John, I can't believe what I'm watching. I really, really cannot believe what I'm watching from a Tottenham point of view. They look clueless. It looks like they don't even know which way they're kicking. Nobody's running back, nobody's chasing, nobody's closing down, nobody's picking anybody up. Atletico Madrid have got possession of the ball. I mean, so early on in the game, 20 minutes in, Atletico are 3-0 up. The Tottenham team look completely stunned and shocked. I thought they'd bottomed out at Crystal Palace. This is bad.
Here's Griezmann, and of course, top sportsman, a top football team like Atletico Madrid. They can smell the blood here as Llorente crosses low. That comes off a defender. It's a corner to Atletico Madrid.
I don't know the fallout from this already. We're only 20 minutes into this game, 3-0 down. I can only imagine the repercussions after this game when you hear what the manager's got to say, the substitution of the goalkeeper. I do not see any scenario which Tottenham come out of this well.
3-0, 20 minutes played. Corner from the right. Griezmann going to take this. All 3 goals from Tottenham defensive errors, 2 of them by the goalkeeper. Griezmann gets it back, curls it in. That is headed away by Danso. Then Griezmann nods it forward, and challenge comes in on the far side by Sarr. That is given as a free kick to Atletico Madrid. Sarr went in strongly with the challenge, and a free kick to Atletico on the right wing.
Do you know, I like this mentality from Atletico Madrid because they're showing no mercy whatsoever. Yes, they've got 3 goals up inside 20 minutes, but the manager Diego Simeone, these are one of the biggest technical areas that you will ever see in football. It's a wonderful stadium, the technical areas are huge, but it doesn't mean anything for Simeone. He's out there right behind the assistant on the near side, berating his team who are 3-0 up. He wants a fourth, he wants to go on and win this game within the first half.
Well, Tottenham here tonight are back in the stadium that was the scene of their Champions League final, and that really, nothing went right for Tottenham that night. But in comparison to this is a nightmare. Free kick on the right. Free kick to be swung in left-footed by the green boots of Griezmann, who's waiting over there in his short silver hair, short back and sides. He plays it in, Griezmann. Oh my goodness, almost an own goal, and then it is forced. No, it is over the line.
Yeah, it's got to be in.
Or is it? Yes, the goal is given. Well, it could twice have been an own goal. Initially, I think it was Danso got the header that was saved by Vicario, but then it bounced out and I think was headed in for an own goal. Griezmann delivered it in, came off the head of Danso. It was a brilliant save by Vicario, and then under pressure, I think it might have been off a Tottenham head.
It's a super ball in. It really is a super ball in from Griezmann on the far side. On the right-hand side with his left foot, it's almost an indefendable free kick. It's Danso who rises at the near post, and Vicario makes a brilliant save to start with. The goalkeeper who's just come on, he's cold. He's made a brilliant save, but then it's come back out, and once again Tottenham's defending.
There's a defender in there with Lenormand, and Lenormand actually is taking the credit for it, so I think he must have got the meaningful touch. He has. It's Lenormand's goal, and it's Atletico Madrid 4, Tottenham 0, and we have played 23 minutes of the match. 4-0 to Atletico Madrid.
It can't get any worse. I mean, the Tottenham Hotspur supporters away to our left-hand side, high up inside this stadium. There was one or two red empty seats that you could see spattered in between the supporters. But now the supporters who have made the effort, they've spent their hard-earned money to come out here and watch this. They're going. They've had enough. I mean, I can't actually believe what I'm seeing in this stadium. Like I said to you before, I think the Crystal Palace game at home, I sat at home and I watched that game and I thought, it can't get any worse than this. Surely it can't get any worse. It was a tough watch, in all honesty. It was a really tough watch. And then thinking, right, okay, go to Atletico Madrid and then get something. But then today, nothing.
It's now Atletico Madrid 4, Tottenham 0. 4 goals for Atletico Madrid inside the first 23 minutes. And this one, a header after a free kick from Griezmann on the right that came off a Tottenham head. Substitute goalkeeper Vicario, who's been brought on for Kinski. That's a talking point in itself after Kinski was at fault for 2 of the first 3 goals. Vicario made a brilliant save, but Lenormand was able to get in there and head it in from close range. So it's gone from bad to worse, to even worse, to much worse. Atletico Madrid 4, Tottenham 0. And we'll continue with the commentary on Sports Extra. And that is just it, Paul, isn't it? What a first 24 minutes for Tottenham here. It's been torrid.
We knew that Tottenham were devoid of confidence. We knew that they were a poor side, but they have been absolutely torn apart, much to their own undoing in the first 20 minutes, and going 3-0 down the way that they have. And the goalkeeper been taken off. I've never seen that in my entire career, my entire broadcasting career. A manager substituting a goalkeeper after 2 mistakes within 16 minutes. They look like a team that just do not have a clue which way they're facing.
Vicario now back in goal after Kinski was substituted off after the third goal was conceded. I mean, he slipped for a goal kick for the first and gave the ball back to Atletico Madrid, and for the third goal he completely missed his kick, which meant that Julian Alvarez was just able to take the ball off him and walk it into the net. 4-0. Here's Richarlison, a rare Tottenham attack. Richarlison into the penalty area, still going, works it across. Porro could be in to score, and he is. Pedro Porro has been able to get a goal back for Tottenham. Well, that's a crumb of comfort, but not much more than that. 4-1, Pedro Porro.
It was a decent finish from Pedro Porro. You can see from the Tottenham body language, the players are just jogging back, no kind of celebration, no embracing one another. Diego Simeone is absolutely fuming down beneath us. He's almost on the pitch. His team are 4-0 up. They've conceded. I mean, what a 26 minutes of football that we've just seen. Pedro Porro inside the 18-yard box on the angle, 12 yards out, smashes it hard and low to the right-hand side of Oblak. There's no chance for the goalkeeper. Richarlison was the one that did the hard work, put it into the path of Porro. Decent finish, but I mean, it probably means absolutely nothing at the moment for Tottenham.
But they're on the score sheet, I suppose. Atletico Madrid 4, Tottenham 1. And if you are listening to us on Sports Extra very shortly, again, 5 Live will be joining us for an update on that latest goal. So it is Atletico Madrid 4, Tottenham 1. This time it's Tottenham who score. Pedro Porro, but it's 4-1 to Atletico Madrid after Llorente, Griezmann, Alvarez and Lenormand in a nightmare opening 20 minutes or so for Tottenham. But Pedro Porro, set up by Richarlison, has got one back. A crumb of comfort, not much more than that. Atletico 4, Tottenham 1. As Atletico Madrid have the ball in the centre circle. As the commentary continues now on Sports Extra. Paul Robinson sitting alongside me. It's given away. And Tottenham bring it forward with Romero. Passes it for Kolo Muani to chase, and Kolo Muani is fouled. He's shoved over. That's a free kick to Tottenham after he was just eased into by Hansko. And the Dutch officials, the referee's given us a free kick to Spurs on the right.
Right, they've got no option now, Tottenham. They have got to go for this. They've got to show some kind of character. They've got to show some kind of personality. This is personal pride that's at stake and professional pride that's at stake. You can blame the club, the transfers, recent history, etc. You can look back as far as you want, but actually when you cross that white line as a professional player, you have your own personal pride as a professional and as a team. And what Tottenham have done tonight, they've folded, they've rolled over. Not one player out there at the moment has stood up and gone, okay, we've got a job to do here tonight, we have to put in some kind of a performance. We just have not seen that from them tonight.
This has been one of the most extraordinary first half hours of a football match that I've seen for some while. Free kick for Tottenham on the right. We're only in the 29th minute, we've still got time for another goal yet. 5 goals in the first 26 minutes. Pedro Porro waiting to take this. Atletico Madrid holding their line of red and white striped shirts just outside the 6-yard box. Incredibly well drilled by Diego Simeone, watching on in his knee-length padded coat. Porro plays it in towards the far side. Richarlison with a header, but it's saved by Oblak diving to his right. And I think the whistle had gone for a push by Richarlison.
The referee's given a free kick for a push by Richarlison. But again, Tottenham, they're showing a little bit of spirit, a decent delivery into the box. Richarlison, for me, I think when I look at the Tottenham team, he's the one that's got a bit of spirit, he's the one that's got a little bit of fight. Yes, he does lack in certain areas, but in recent weeks, if I'm a manager going into Tottenham, I'm playing him. If I've got a Tottenham team full of Richarlisons, I think we stay in that league, just for the sheer fight and the attitude that he's got. And they haven't shown that tonight. I mean, that was a decent delivery, a good header from Richarlison, but a comfortable save from Oblak.
If you've just switched on to us, if you're a Tottenham fan,
turn off.
Turn straight off. I feel for them. We talked to a couple of Spurs fans on the metro, didn't we, on the way here to the Metropolitano, who, I think it's fair to say, were not full of confidence. But I think even the most pessimistic Tottenham fan would not have expected what's unfolded here tonight. No,
I think because of the run that they obviously had in Europe last season when the trophy was won, and the Champions League run this season. I mean, you look at their form in their Champions League, it's completely different to the league. I mean, it's an incredible run that they had in the Champions League, but as far as the Premier League goes, it's been awful for Tottenham.
Meanwhile, Bayern Munich have also made a storming start. Bayern Munich are 3-0 up in Bergamo against Atalanta with goals from Stanisic, Elise and Gnabry. So it's not just Atletico Madrid who've made a storming start to their first leg. Still Newcastle 0, Barcelona 0, as Atletico have given it away to Porro. Kolo Muani back to Porro, but he's overhit that Kolo Muani all the way through for a goal kick. Oblak, not for the first time tonight, with a poor piece of distribution.
Once again, the goalkeeper at the other end, Oblak was at fault for the piece of distribution that led to Tottenham's goal. Kinski at the other end, as we know what's happened to him, he's probably sat in the dressing room listening to us now. But yeah, they're playing out from the back from Atletico Madrid. If Tottenham push on and they do the high press, they do look better in higher areas.
A couple more goals in the Championship. Hull City are winning at Wrexham after their unforgettable evening on Saturday against Chelsea, as the ball is won on the halfway line by Simeone, but he can't reach it before it bounces out of play for a throw into Tottenham that Spence will take. So Wrexham 0, Hull City 1. Hull City, like Wrexham, pushing for promotion. Actually, that is 6th against 5th, isn't it? So Hull 1-0 up at the racecourse ground. And also, it's Millwall winning 1-0 against Derby. So 3rd place Millwall winning 1-0 against Derby, and Swansea now 2-0 up at Portsmouth. And Tottenham with the ball. Danso slips as he looks to clear that. So many slips and errors. Danso, I think, kicked the ball against his standing leg. That's out of play for a throw into Atletico.
But that's a number of Spurs players that have slipped tonight. I mean, I'm not questioning the footwear, but the goalkeeper slipped twice that led to the 2 goals. Van der Ven slipped in the build-up to Atletico's 3rd goal. And once again, we're seeing Tottenham players slipping over.
In League One, 2nd place Cardiff are winning 1-0. In fact, it's 1-1. Barnsley 1, Cardiff 1 at half-time. Doncaster 0, Luton 1 at half-time. Griezmann for Atletico down the right, but under pressure from Van der Ven. Passed the ball infield straight to Romero. Now Van der Ven has Llorente chasing him. Plays it across the back line to Vicario, who has to pass the ball away just into space. Igor Tudor comes and stands with his palms apart on the edge of the coaching area. What on earth is he thinking tonight? Heading to 4 defeats in a row as the ball is played through to Lookman, who shoots straight at Vicario, who's able to block it with his body wide of the near post for a corner.
It's a super ball into Lookman, it really is. It thinks Alvarez, who drops deep about 25 yards from goal, threads it in between Porro and Danso, the two Tottenham defenders, puts Lookman in, he strikes it straight at Vicario, either side of the Tottenham goalkeeper. I think he's got a problem. Atletico Madrid, this game's theirs if they want it. It's just the pace that they move the ball, the areas that they put it in. They're causing Tottenham so many problems at the moment. Igor Tudor looks a lost man.
He does, in his baseball cap. I think he's actually gone and sat down for a moment or two, probably wise. Corner for Atletico. Griezmann to take this. Griezmann hits this to the edge of the 6-yard box, and a good header away actually by Danso. Atletico again, though, look to put pressure on this beleaguered Tottenham defence as it's played all the way in. Vicario has to go down and gather that at the feet of Griezmann, who was in there like a flash, but secure handling by Vicario in the end.
That's Llorente again on the right hand side. I think it's a super ball, it's dipping right in front of the Tottenham goalkeeper. Confident handling from Vicario that time.
As Tottenham vainly try to attack with Spence, but Atletico have got it back. Richarlison is trying to do his best there, but Atletico just run rings round them, pass the ball around Tottenham, although Llorente's pass actually, but he's won it back. Llorente, he's full of energy. Atletico Madrid are full of energy. 4-1 up on the night, worth 3-0, worth 4-0 up until Pedro Porro got a goal back. Then sliding in to win it is Danso. Danso, middle of the Atletico Madrid half, gives it to Sarr to his left. Now he has Tell in the full-back position. Griezmann back there, then Sarr with a chance. He shoots into Llorente and the ball bounces away, and it's a corner for Tottenham. And with 10 minutes to go to half-time, Tottenham with their first corner of the match.
I'm in shock, John, really, I really am. I mean, the lack of application that the Tottenham players have showed going forward. Igor Tudor down beneath us now, he's on the touchline, he's pulled across Pedro Porro. But we've seen clips on social media, haven't we, of the players not listening to what he says and the disrespect that players have shown to him. There's a message gone on now to Pedro Porro. They've got a corner, the 6-yard box is full. But this has been a terrible, terrible first half for Tottenham. It really has.
Yep, you can't dress it up. It's a corner to Spurs from the left. I think Lenormand ends up on the ground inside the box, so the referee, Archie Gray, with a push. And he's got back to his feet. The referee just wanders across, and we'll actually speak to Gray and one of the Atletico players in there as well, actually, just as a word with Simeone, like father, like son, maybe. Corner from the left, right arm raised. Here it is. It's a very high delivery to the back post, and with the header, Romero, which I think might have struck the outside of the post on the way wide, and he puts his hands to his face as he spins away, and Spurs the width of the post away from making it 4-2.
Incredibly, Tottenham could have got a second. I mean, it's a decent delivery from the far side, corner over on the far right hand side. Mateus Tell with a right-footed in-swinger to the far post. The 6-yard box is crowded. Romero does superbly well, keeps himself free at the far post, completely free header, and he heads it against the outside of the post. That could have been 4-2.
But it is 4-1 to Diego Simeone's team. Second leg of the Tottenham Stadium next Wednesday night. With this scoreline, well, it's not much more than a formality. Although we've seen so many storming comebacks over the years in the Champions League, but for this Tottenham team, where they are right now, heading for 6 defeats in a row in all competitions, and currently heading for 4 losses out of 4 for Igor Tudor, and going to Anfield on Sunday, it is very, very hard to envisage that there can possibly be any sort of comeback.
You wonder where the next result or the next point or win is coming from for Tottenham. I mean, the last Premier League win was on the 28th of December away against Crystal Palace, a team that looked a lot better than they did the other night when they beat them at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. I mean, it's a poor state of affairs. Something has to change.
Atletico Madrid 4-1 up, 4 different goal scorers, and Lookman, who might have got in on the act actually had it not been for the save by Vicario. But for everything that we've seen, the most remarkable thing that we've seen was Kinski being substituted off by Igor Tudor and at that stage it was 3-0, and Kinski had been at fault for 2 of the goals. But to substitute off the goalkeeper,
it's one of, if not the biggest managerial call that you'll ever see that early in the game. It stunned us all, didn't it?
It did. As Griezmann looks to play it forward to Lookman. Actually, that was a firm challenge on the edge of the box, right on the edge of the penalty area by Danso, and Hansko, the central defender, actually went down, joining in the attack, and Danso is giving him a piece of his mind. He has stayed down there on the edge of the penalty area. Griezmann is talking to the referee. Video assistant ref, of course, will look at this as well. But the central defender, Hansko, the Slovakia international, has stayed down.
I think they've looked and they've checked very quickly. The referee signals that it's been cleared. It was a rather firm challenge from Danso. Not necessarily. It was rather industrial at the edge of the box there, as you can hear from the Atletico fans in the background. Diego Simeone and the majority of the Atletico Madrid bench is by the side of the touchline,
and the referee is motioning that he got the ball. Although he's blowing his whistle, I think that's more to do with the fact that the 4th official is being crowded by various members of the Atletico Madrid.
Can you see how quickly they all retreated to the dugout, like naughty children? The referee's coming over to tell them off, and they all run back to the dugout.
Yeah, they've disappeared out of sight. Double quick. Also, Diego Simeone has taken off that padded coat. Well, I'm not surprised given the temperature of some of what we've seen in the first half, and play is back underway again with 5 minutes to go to half-time. That was absolute classic Simeone, Atletico Madrid. Carry on.
Yeah, but he's rather influential, isn't he? He's been here a long time, Diego Simeone, and I think his coaching staff are very well trained and accustomed to the manner of his behaviour.
As Tottenham do come forward through the middle with Tell, he slips as well as he plays the ball to Porro here on the right. Diego Simeone, just got my eye on him.
He's on the pitch.
He's virtually on the pitch, waving his arms around, pointing. He's virtually walked onto the pitch, and as Atletico Madrid defend this, they win a free kick, and now the referee has got a real job on his hands here. It's Danso with the challenge. They are all the crowd are up on their feet. They want a yellow card for Danso because of what happened at the other end. Danso involved with Hansko. Griezmann is talking to the ref. Half of the coaching staff.
There's 9 of them, John. I've just counted. There's 9 of them.
Are inside the technical area. Honestly. Oh.
It's passion. That's what it is. And do you know what? Everything that you've just described there is what's lacking from the other side.
Totally. You're absolutely right, Paul. Paul Robinson here. This is BBC Radio 5 Sports Extra. Listen on BBC Sounds as well. Newcastle against Barcelona is currently unfolding on 5 Live as Lookman attacks down the left. Pedro Porro puts the challenge in, and Lookman allows the ball to run away behind for what is an Atletico corner. Alvarez is going to take this one, it looks like. Not Griezmann. Still Newcastle 0, Barcelona 0. And Griezmann instead is going to make a nuisance of himself next to Vicario. It's 4-1. And the corner, right-footed by Alvarez. Here he is, swinging it right into the 6-yard box. Richarlison back in there, actually got his bleached blonde head to it to nod it out, and it rolls for a throw-in over on the far side. Half-time whistles in the Championship. Leicester 2, Bristol City 0. Millwall winning 1-0 against Derby. Atletico Madrid take this throw-in and then move back towards the halfway line. Half-time at Fratton Park, it's Portsmouth 0, Swansea 2. Sheffield Wednesday 0, Watford 0. Wrexham 0, Hull 1. Griezmann as Atletico come forward again. He's trying to find a position, still running from right to left, and then does in the end pass it to Lookman, who has on the overlap Ruggeri, and Ruggeri cut back, missed by Griezmann. Llorente shoots wide, 8 yards out. I think he slipped as he shot as well, which meant that it went wide.
Two of them missed an open goal. When it's superb play down this left-hand side from Ruggeri. The left-back gets round the outside on the edge of the 18-yard box, cuts it back, and so uncharacteristically Griezmann misses his kick. and then it goes into the middle, and he's completely missed his kick there, Llorente. There's two of them, two Atletico players. Griezmann completely misses the ball. Llorente makes connection, but it's with the outside of his right boot, goes wide of the outside of the Vicario's left-hand post. Another let-off for Tottenham. Thankfully it's not 5 before half-time.
4-1 is bad enough for Tottenham and Igor Tudor. And incidentally, Stoke have scored twice late in the first half, and Stoke are winning 2-0 against 4th placed Ipswich in the Championship. That's very nearly at the break. The ball is back with Oblak. Half-time scores in League One: Barnsley 1, Cardiff 1, Doncaster 0, Luton 1. The leaders, Lincoln, are winning 1-0 at Exeter. Mansfield 0, Reading 0, Stevenage 1, Leyton Orient 1, and Wigan 0, Plymouth 2. All half-time scores as Tottenham have a throw-in 10 yards back from the corner flag on the left-hand side. In fact, it's a little bit further back than that. Danso is just walking off the field and he's going to pluck one of the balls off the cones.
I'm going to predict your question to me. What does Igor Tudor do? And my answer to you would be, I don't know. So what is he thinking going into that dressing room at half-time? What is his thinking with these players that he's got? He's criticised his own players, he's changed formations, he's played different players in different positions. He's tried a lot of things, and now he's in a situation where he's 4-1 down at half-time in the Champions League game, and this could be his 4th defeat in a row. I don't know how this half-time team talk goes, I really don't.
Well, they're looking for another goal. Danso with the long throw, which bounces all the way through. Romero tried to get to it at the near post, but he got a little bit of a shove there. Atletico Madrid are, with all of the talk about how to defend corners and what you do when you're attacking corners, you know, that is the Atletico Madrid, or one of the Atletico Madrid's specialities. They are so good at that, just a nudge at the crucial point. And tonight they've shown their attacking talents, helped by a hapless performance from Tottenham. Mistake after mistake after mistake, goal after goal after goal by Atletico, and with just seconds left of the first half, this will be a relief for Tottenham and their supporters here as the ball runs out of play for a throw-in that Pedro Porro takes quickly infield. 2 minutes of added time. Tell tries to release Kolo Muani, but that was cut out by Pubil, who goes back to his goalkeeper. Other half-time scores: Barrow 0, Bristol Rovers 1, Fleetwood 2, Cheltenham 0, Gillingham 0, MK Dons 3, who are in very good form, Salford 0, Walsall 0 as well. They're still playing in the first half. Atletico Madrid 4-1 up against Tottenham. So much to talk about. Really, it's been we'll not forget this one in a hurry. Only the second meeting between Tottenham and Atletico Madrid in one of the European club competitions. We've had to wait 63 years for it. The previous meeting was the 1963 European Cup Winners' Cup final, when Tottenham won 5-1. So the first meeting, Tottenham win 5-1. The next meeting, 63 years later, we haven't reached half-time, and Atletico Madrid are winning 4-1.
I think a certain Jimmy Greaves got 2 goals in that game. What Tottenham would do for a player like that right now.
Wouldn't they just? But I'm not sure what Tottenham can do from this position. But I suppose you've just got to dig in, see if you can get another goal, make it 4-2, and that's what they're doing with the set piece in added time. Porro has hit that, overhit it by a distance, and it just drifts away behind the dead ball line for a goal kick.
That sums up Tottenham's first half display, it really does. I mean, it's a free kick from 10 yards inside Atletico Madrid's half. Tottenham, they've sent Romero, Danso, Van der Ven forward. It's a set play, it's a decent area. Pedro Porro, he hoofs it and he just kicks it out far away for a goal kick. A complete waste. So disjointed. I mean, it's disappointing to watch, doesn't it? You run out of words to describe it. It's just really disappointing.
Ball played forward over the top of Spence. Simeone chasing it, cuts it back and plays it into the Tottenham man. Final touch off Simeone, actually. That's the half-time whistle. And for Tottenham, just trying to keep an eye on Igor Tudor, although I think he's perhaps already gone. I think he might have already left the dugout and disappeared.
Sacked it. Has he gone already?
Gone to the dressing room. But what on earth is he going to say? And what was interesting as well, as we described at the time, when Kinski was substituted after his 2 errors, they were 3-0 down. so many of the players went to Kinski as he was running off the pitch and gave him support. That is going to be, if only we could be the proverbial fly on the wall in that Tottenham dressing room at half-time, Paul Robinson.
I just wonder where he is now, Kinski, whether he's had a shower, he's got changed, or whether he's sat there waiting for his teammates to come in. What's his next conversation with the manager? I mean, we said in commentary there, I've never ever seen that happen in any game. A manager substituting a goalkeeper that's made, he's made 2 horrendous errors, but he's lost his footing in both of the errors. So they're not really technical errors, they're footwear errors, if you like. But the manager's taking him off after 16 minutes, and I think that just highlights a much bigger problem. The problem isn't what boots Kinski's wearing. The problem is Tottenham Hotspur and the attitude and the application of the players, because that was terrible.
But as you said, Paul, for Kinski, Antonin Kinski, for a young man, 23 on Friday, and this is his first appearance in the Champions League, only his 3rd appearance of the season. For a match like this, in a venue like this, how much does that actually come back on the manager?
Confidence to throw in for the goalkeeper, but guess what? The manager doesn't care. The manager does not care, because he knows that he's not going to be here for much longer. Whether he keeps Tottenham in the Premier League or not, whether he hands over a Premier League side next season, Igor Tudor is in full self-preservation mode. He's trying to make decisions that help him.
Well, more to come in the second half, and you will very shortly hear us on 5 Live as well, because during the half-time break we are going to hand you back to 5 Live, but we'll be back here on 5 Sports Extra for the start of the second half with the score Atletico Madrid 4, Tottenham 1. But here's 5 Live.
Do you think it was correct?
No, it's always very difficult to talk to referees in situations like this, because they have communication with the VAR, so they have to listen to what's being said. It's not completely obvious, so that is already one thing, but let's say that decision was right. Then I was even more frustrated about the fact that every free kick and every corner kick we took, if we only look at Galatasaray players, the referee already gave a free kick for Galatasaray. And if you then look at how much they pulled on Virgil's shirt before the ball hit Ibu's arm, then it's safe to say that we were not the only one impressed by the atmosphere here today.
So Arne Slot is unhappy, and there'll be plenty of Spurs fans who are very unhappy with the way that things are going in the first half against Atletico Madrid. John Murray.
Atletico Madrid 4, Tottenham 1. That has been a remarkable first half and an absolute nightmare for Tottenham, who are staring at 6 defeats in a row, and they're staring at 4 defeats out of 4 under Igor Tudor. And it was just mistake after mistake, goal after goal from Llorente, Griezmann, Alvarez and Lenormand. And what made it all the more remarkable was that 2 of the mistakes were by the 22-year-old goalkeeper Antonin Kinski, playing in the Champions League for the first time. He's 23 on Friday. 2 mistakes from him led to 2 of the goals, and Igor Tudor substituted him in the 17th minute and brought on Vicario, who was very soon after beaten by Lemond's header for the 4th goal. They did get one back through Pedro Porro, but honestly, I've not seen a first half hour of football like the one that we've witnessed here in the Metropolitano for a very long time. 4-1 it is, and it is almost impossible, Kelly, to see Tottenham getting themselves out of this hole that they're in this round of 16 time.
And Paul Robinson is sitting next to you. Paul, it feels like too big a question to ask what's been going wrong for Tottenham. So let's focus on that decision to substitute the goalkeeper after 17 minutes. Yes, he's made big errors, but was that an understandable decision from Tudor for you?
Kelly, I've never seen the like. I mean, me and John have both sat here and in commentary, I think in all our years of John covering football, me playing and then being a broadcaster, I've never seen the manager substitute a goalkeeper. Two errors, but they weren't technical errors, they were footwear errors. I mean, he slipped in both of them. I mean, Van der Ven slipped for one of the goals as well. The decisions that the goalkeeper's made to play the pass in that certain area probably wasn't the wisest choice. But actually, for the manager, it just really smells of a manager massively under pressure and looking for answers. I mean, to substitute your goalkeeper after 16 minutes, Things are terrible at the moment for Tottenham. I watched the Crystal Palace game the other day and I thought they couldn't get any worse. And I'm thinking, what can they do? They can go to Atletico Madrid, get some kind of result, some kind of performance. Everything that you could imagine goes wrong has happened for Tottenham in the first half. And in all honesty, if I didn't like the man sat next to me as much as I did, and I didn't think I was going to Real Madrid, Manchester City tomorrow, I'd have probably gone home by now.
I mean, you can imagine if there are Tottenham fans who've made the journey to Madrid thinking even 20 minutes into that game, do you know what, we might as well just cut our losses and make our way out of here. It feels almost as though Spurs are looking for a way not just to rescue this tie, but to rescue anything from their seasons. It feels like there's no way of turning this ship around at the moment.
This was never going to be an important game for them, but what was important was how they came out of this game. It was a performance, it was something that they could take forward. The Premier League and the Premier League survival is all that matters for Tottenham. Let's be realistic, they're not going to win the Champions League, okay? But they're going to come here tonight and they need to put on some kind of a performance that they can take into the game at the weekend. They're going to Anfield at the weekend, which is extremely difficult. Then Madrid come back to the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium midweek, and then they've got Nottingham Forest at home on Sunday, and that is the biggest game of their season. They have to build some kind of momentum and some kind of performance. But what I've seen and what me and John have both witnessed in that first half, I didn't even know which way they were facing at times. Honestly, they looked so devoid of confidence and belief, it was untrue.
Paul Robinson and John Murray will take you through the second half from the Wanda Metropolitano on Sports Extra. You'll be able to listen to that one, and we will have second half commentary of Newcastle against Barcelona. They're the British team who are performing best this evening. They're 0-0 at half-time against Barcelona. Liverpool, whose Spurs meet at the weekend, were beaten 1-0 by Galatasaray in Turkey. Steve Borthwick has made one change for England's final Six Nations game against France. Ollie Chesham comes into the back row, replacing Tom Curry, who was injured in the warm-up against Italy. Let's hear from Steve Borthwick, and he's clear that his side haven't been at their best.
I think that the England shirt can, at times, weigh heavy, and I think we've worked exceptionally hard to try and alleviate that, to try and get the players to, as you've heard me talk many times, and it'll be the same thing I talk to the players, I talk to you. I want the players to play fast rugby. I want the ball to move. I want them to be brave, and I talk about playing brave, I talk about playing big and with the shirt on. I think certainly I've seen evidence in the last 2 or 3 weeks that there's been times where the shirt looks like it's weighed a bit heavy, and passes and necessarily the team would have given, not quite given, the passes that the team gave throughout 2025 and even that first game of the Six Nations, not quite giving. So what we worked upon, and clearly we're all after the transfer from the training field onto the into the test match arena, is converting those opportunities.
Since you've been the England boss, there have been some tricky spells. You've managed to come through and get the team back on track. I know how passionate you are about this job and getting England as a winning rugby team. How sort of difficult have the last few weeks been for you personally?
For everybody involved with the team is hurt, because how much everybody cares. And I've told you before about how passionate I am with the England rugby team. For a huge chunk of my life has been involved with this team as player, captain, assistant coach, head coach. So we're all desperate to make this team super successful. Now, the last 3 games have been very, very disappointing. They're not the results we want, or the performances, more importantly, that we want. What we do is make sure we're clear on what it is we need to do better.
That was Steve Borthwick speaking to our rugby union correspondent Chris Jones at England's training base in Verona. Chris, he wants those big performances from his players. With that in mind, and given the number of changes that he made for the Italy game, were you expecting more changes again this time around?
No, I wasn't, Kelly, just because you can't keep rotating the squad so drastically, can you? You can tweak a bit here and there, and then you can wield the axe like you did after Ireland, but I don't think you can go wielding any more axes. I think at that point you've got to go, okay, he's given players a big opportunity. They didn't take it in Rome, but the England camp are pretty sure that for large parts of that game there were things to build on, so he couldn't really, I think, make a whole a whole raft of changes, because it would have looked like there's not much of a plan here. So I think what he needed to do is to stabilise things a little bit and say to this group, right, it's been a chastening Six Nations, one of England's worst ever, but they've got a chance to rectify quite a few things if they can put in a much improved performance against France in Paris.
That was Chris Jones, and you'll be able to follow all the build-up to that on Rugby Union Weekly, which of course is daily for the duration of the Six Nations. We're going to head back to St James's Park now, where the players are out ready for the second half. Newcastle United against Barcelona. Newcastle in the knockout stages of the Champions League for the first time. It's goalless as we head there with Chris Waddle and Ian Dennis.
Lady Kelly, your timing is perfect. We're just underway. Newcastle United, black and white striped shirts, playing from left to right against Barcelona in their all luminous orange. Neither side has made a change, and I'll run through the two teams for you in a moment. But Newcastle attacking the Gallagate end are on the attack with Barnes infield, left corner of the area, and Joe Linton turned and was expecting Barnes to have continued his run, and it's allowed Barcelona to eventually clear through Araujo. So Ramsdale is in goal. Trippier, Chow, Byrne and Hall is the Newcastle defence. Joe Linton, Tonali and Ramsey in the midfield. Elanga, Asula and Barnes. Gordon is on the bench. Barcelona have Garcia in goal. They have a back four of Cancelo at left back. Araujo is the right back. Kubasi and Gerard Martin are the two central defenders. Pedri and Bernal are the central midfielders. And then you've got Rafinha to the left, Lamine Yamal to the right, Fermin Lopez in behind Lewandowski. Chris Waddle.
Yeah, I just think Newcastle keep it up what they did first half. They caused problems, played at a great tempo, and if they can get more people in the box when they get the ball away, they've put the ball in the box on numerous occasions, but there's not enough black and white shirts getting in there.
Cheltenham Town have got a goal back at Fleetwood. Fleetwood 2, Cheltenham 1. At Hillsborough, Sheffield Wednesday are leading Watford by a goal to nil. 31 matches without a win since the 20th of September, but Jerry Yates has scored early in the second half. Stevenage 1, Leyton Orient 2, and Barrow 0, Bristol Rovers 2 is a latest score in League 2. This is 5 Live Sport. Don't forget, Atletico Madrid, Tottenham Hotspur is commentary on Sports Extra. Tomorrow, Arsenal against Bayer Leverkusen will be our first early commentary for you at 5:45, followed by Real Madrid against Manchester City. Ball goes forward, cut out by Trippier. Tonali with a little touch, edge of the centre circle. Gerard Martin goes down the line, sliding by Trippier, tied it by Cancelo, back towards Garcia, and Garcia then lets it come across his body, right-footed, across towards Araujo. The right-back volleys the ball in field. Lamine Yamal tries to give it back towards Araujo, who then wrestles Lewis Hall to the floor, and the ironic cheers, because the decision goes in favour of Newcastle from the Italian referee Marco Guida.
Yeah, start the second half of Newcastle again on the front foot, trying to keep the tempo up. As I say, they've done a lot of things very well tonight, Newcastle, but just that final ball into the box, there's not enough bodies in there.
That is the voice of Chris Waddle. Always a pleasure to be in the company of such an illustrious footballer, who of course played for Newcastle United, as well as one of his other former clubs, Tottenham, who are not having the happiest of times of late, particularly 4-1 down. The winners of that will play Newcastle Barcelona in the last 8. Atletico Madrid leading 4-1. As Ramsdale, right-footed, goes long, dropping inside the area, edge of the area on the half volley, cleared away by Lopez, put back by Trippier. It's going to drop for Elanga, beaten in the air by Gerard Martin, headed back by Ramsey, and then Martin has sliced his clearance.
And as the voice of Ian Dennis disappears, if you want to continue listening to Newcastle against Barcelona, then you'll need to switch across now to 5 Live. This is John Murray. We're here in Madrid in the Metropolitano, watching a remarkable first leg round of 16 tie involving Atletico Madrid and Tottenham, who at half-time lead by 4-1, Diego Simeone's team. And if you weren't listening in the first half, a horror of the first half, particularly the first quarter of the match, really, as the Tottenham players, all in black, come back onto the pitch. I see that Igor Tudor is going to make a change. Standing in the tunnel as the Tottenham players came out, he had his arm around Conor Gallagher, who, remember, signed for Tottenham from Atletico Madrid
in January. So coming back to his former club here, coming on as a substitute at half-time, as is Dominic Solanke. So it's going to be a double change for Spurs. But what a scenario for Conor Gallagher, Paul Robinson, to step back into here.
Well, what a scenario for Tottenham. I mean, they've got a rescue mission in this second half. They really have. This is personal and professional pride that's at stake. As anybody that tunes in and watches the highlights of that first half from Tottenham, it was really, really poor. I mean, we spoke at half-time, didn't we? The manager took the goalkeeper off. The mistakes that they've had, their attitude, the application, they've been nowhere near whatsoever. And Igor Tudor, after 3 games, losing all 3 games in charge, is clearly a man who's hugely under pressure. Making these 2 changes at half-time, he's just looking for answers, he really is. He started his first game at Tottenham, played 3 at the back, Paulinho in a back 3 against Arsenal, went to Fulham, played a back 4, played Archie Gray at left back, made 3 substitutions at half-time. It just really, really looks like a manager who's looking for answers with different personnel, different formations, and nothing has worked.
The second half begins. Atletico Madrid kick off, and they lead by 4 goals to 1. And the substitutions just being announced. So Conor Gallagher coming onto the field, having played for and scored for Atletico Madrid in the Champions League this season. And here's Lookman for Atletico, already attacking. Ball played to Richarlison, shooting from an angle, and Vicario was able to block it. It bounced back onto Griezmann, then back to Vicario, and the crowd were up behind that goal. But Vicario did his job there.
Once again, it's so simple from an Atletico Madrid point of view. Lookman down the left-hand side, they work the ball really well. Intricate piece of play into Griezmann. It's a really tight angle. Tries to beat Vicario at his near post, but thankfully for Tottenham, there's a big, strong right hand there.
So Atletico Madrid, as they started the match, with Oblak, the captain, in goal. There's a foul on by Conor Gallagher on the halfway on the halfway line. It's a free kick to Tottenham. So Oblak in goal for Atletico, with Pubil at right back, Lenormand, Hansko and Ruggeri the back 4, then Llorente and Cardoso in midfield, Simeone on the right, Lookman on the left, and Griezmann going pretty much wherever he wants to be honest. And then Alvarez,
with that hairstyle and those boots, he can do what he wants, can't he?
Do what he likes.
Look at his boots, look how bright his boots are.
The silver-haired, green-booted Antoine Griezmann. And Tottenham now, having made 3 substitutions, with Kinski subbed off in the first half, the unfortunate young goalkeeper, replaced by Vicario after being at fault for 2 of the mistakes. So Vicario in goal, Danso, Romero and Van de Ven, the 3 central defenders, Porro on the right, Spence on the left, and now Gallagher, Sarr and Gray, Richarlison and Solanke. So Tell and Kolomwani, the other 2 players to be withdrawn. I'm not sure if I said that, Paul, when the 2 of them were coming on, Solanke and Gallagher.
No, you did. I can tell you now, boss, you did.
Okay.
As usual, perfect order.
Well, thank you very much. Atletico Madrid in this season wearing thin red and white stripes, playing from left to right, the royal blue shirts, royal blue socks, attacking, ball across the edge of the penalty area, and Gallagher actually steps forward and takes possession back for Spurs. Going to be so interesting to hear what Igor Tudor has to say after this match. And now he's trying to he's virtually dancing down the side of the pitch in front of the technical area, and he's sending messages out there. He's speaking, I think, to Archie Gray. He's now pointing back to Romero. He's pointing at Spence. He's pointing at Van de Ven. But it just has the feel of desperation.
John, you made a really good point to me before the game in the warm-up. We normally look at the warm-up to see which way the back 3, the back 5 are lining up, but actually you pointed out what Igor Tudor does in the warm-up. He actually gets involved with the warm-up, and I'd never noticed that. He's, the players do the box, the keep ball. He's playing, he's part of it, wasn't he?
Yeah, and he's done that. And I've seen a couple of the times in the 4 matches that he's had, and in his very first match it was noticeable how involved he was out on the pitch during the warm-up, more than any manager really that I could name doing that, walking around, his involvement. I remember before the Arsenal match at the Tottenham Stadium, they were practicing set pieces. He was in the box. He was actually in the penalty area as they did that pre-match. But with this scoreline, with the possibility of this getting worse for Tottenham, and that could easily happen here in this setting, then who knows what happens next to Tottenham, who go to Anfield on Sunday.
All they want now, Tottenham, is the final whistle. They need to come out of here unscathed from the second half. I mean, they've been scarred from the first half, and you look at their fixture list now, away at Liverpool, okay, not going to be season defining for them. The next leg at home to Atletico, then at home to Forest, then away at Sunderland, then at home to Brighton, and then they go to Wolves. Those games are going to define where Tottenham are, and whether Igor Tudor's in charge or not, we're going to wait and see. But tonight certainly hasn't been a big tick in the column for him, let's say.
That is the voice of Paul Robinson, England goalkeeper, Champions League goalkeeper, watching his former team here being well beaten by Atletico Madrid. Still Newcastle 0, Barcelona 0 over on 5 Live. In the Championship, Portsmouth have got a goal back at Fratton Park. Swansea are winning there by 2-1. And Sheffield Wednesday are winning.
Are they going to win a game?
Against Watford.
What story that would be.
With less than half an hour to play, the bottom club, Sheffield Wednesday, who, well, have already been relegated, could have a little moment today. So
what an opportunity for their younger players, though, the players that they're trying to bring through and put into the first team squad and put into the Championship setup. There's a really good opportunity for younger players in a difficult situation for them.
Also, Hull City have doubled their lead at Wrexham. Wrexham 0, Hull City 2, and a goal back for Ipswich. Stoke winning 2-1 against Ipswich. It is Atletico Madrid with the ball in the central third, in this great arena, Champions League final arena, when Tottenham lost to Liverpool by 2-0 back in 2019. Mauricio Pochettino, of course, against Jurgen Klopp, and Mauricio Pochettino is here tonight. Intriguingly, he was filmed, his flight here was captured. It's been on social media today as Lookman crosses from the left, but put too much on that and it drifted straight over the top and behind for a goal kick.
Go on, John, finish your story. I was interested in that. Go on.
Mauricio Pochettino clearly on the plane that he was flying, which was a flight with many Tottenham supporters who basically were calling for him to return to the club. And he is here to watch Johnny Cardoso, the number 5 in central midfield for Atletico Madrid.
Well, you would hope from a Tottenham fan's point of view that that's the reason he's here, not to assess Tottenham and whether he's going to take the manager's job or not, because if I was him, I'd have gone by now.
Well, he's got a World Cup with the United States to negotiate his way through first. So 4-1 to Atletico Madrid, and I suppose it's the old story, isn't it? The professional footballers 4-1 down at half-time. The target will be to win the second half.
That's the message that the manager will have given them. Give yourself a chance of being in the second leg. I mean, as we said, the Champions League is not a priority for Tottenham this season, but actually one goal in the second half gives them something maybe to cling on to hope for the second leg next week.
And I have to confess, Paul, when I watched Tottenham come back against Ajax in the Champions League semi-final of 2019, I did say after that, I'm never ever going to count a team out until a match is done. But that was Tottenham then.
Yeah, look at the team now. Yeah, I think you can, if you look at the difference in the quality of the squad. I mean, we're looking at a Tottenham Hotspur team. Yes, okay, they've signed players, but they've sold their top scorer the last 3 seasons running.
Yep, Son leaving last summer after the Europa League success. That's why Tottenham are in this competition this season, because of that day in Bilbao. That looked like a foul on Porro on the far side, but it's not given. He's able to turn. He's the Tottenham goal scorer tonight. Plays it up to Dominic Solanke, coming on as the sub at half-time. His pass forward for Gray to chase, but across from the back to put it out of play comes Ruggeri, and it's out for a throw to Tottenham, level with the edge of the penalty area that Danso trots up to take. So far it's not got any worse for Spurs.
No, they've actually done better in this second half. I mean, we're almost 10 minutes into the second half, but Tottenham have started better. Defensively, they've looked in a more solid shape. Going forward, they've looked more rigid. And it's the old-fashioned, well, when you're in trouble, what do you do? Oh, I know, we'll go to a 4-4-2. And that's pretty much what Tottenham are at the moment.
Throw in for Danso. Could have been 4-2. Romero had a header that hit the post in the first half. Danso's throw is attempted to be flicked on by Romero, and he's succeeded in winning a corner. Little flick into the defender behind him. Corner to Tottenham.
Yeah, opportunity from set plays. I mean, what are they, 4-1 down? There's a long way to go in this game, but a goal does give them an opportunity, gives them something to hold on to. A better second half display is what they need. They need to get the ball in the wide areas and move the ball a lot quicker.
So a right-sided corner for Tottenham. Gallagher to take this. Porro has made himself available. A packed 6-yard box. The signal over there from the right, and he actually does take it short to Porro, who then plays it back for Spence, right-footed, to curl it in, but it was headed away by Cardoso. Back to Tottenham. Here's the cross from Porro. That's dangerous. Richarlison, and what a save from Oblak. Diving to his left, is able to parry it away, and actually they're off on the counter-attack. Brilliant touch from Griezmann. Sends Alvarez through. Alvarez into the penalty area to score and make it 5-1. Seconds after Oblak saves at one end, Atletico Madrid, like greased lightning, down the other end. Alvarez scores his second goal of the match, just placed it past Vicario, and it's now 5-1.
Devastation for Tottenham, pure devastation. They had a super chance at the other end. It was a really good ball from Pedro Porro. Richarlison had a free header from 6 yards out. Jan Oblak dives to his left. He makes a brilliant save, he really does. And then within 3 passes, the ball is in the back of the Tottenham Hotspur net. Pedro Porro is chasing back, he's chasing Alvarez back. It's a brilliant touch from Griezmann, it really is. Round the corner, into Alvarez. Porro just stops. I don't know why he stops, whether he was injured or whatever it was in the build-up. Pedro Porro is down on his haunches. Alvarez just goes past him like he's in a different gear. Lovely finish across Vicario into the bottom right-hand corner. But from Jan Oblak making a brilliant save at one end. 3 passes and the ball's once again in the back of the Tottenham Hotspur net.
It's just thumped forward. Brilliant play by Griezmann. A flick from... he's run from 10 yards inside his own half, Alvarez, and has outpaced Porro and Spence.
Porro just stops, doesn't he?
Well, he never got close to him.
No, nowhere near him. And then he gets near the 18-yard box, and then Porro just gives up as if to say, well, I can't get there, can anyone else?
Lovely finish. So 5-1 now. 5-1 very soon. 5 Live will be joining us. But the place, what a noise. And the Metropolitan here in great voice again, because Atletico Madrid have just scored their 5th goal on the counter-attack, seconds after Oblak save from Richarlison, a brilliant touch from Griezmann, and Alvarez ran from 10 yards inside his own half, outpacing the Tottenham defenders, passed it past Vicario. It's 5-1 now. As back on Sports Extra only, Tottenham now, having conceded the first goal of the second half, tried to vainly come forward, but the noise is back inside this great bowl of this arena out here to the east of the city centre. And I think you're suggesting to me, Paul, that many of the Tottenham fans who are here,
they're going, John.
Have already left.
Yeah, they're going.
Or are leaving.
They're leaving. I mean, it's not a cheap hobby, is it, following your football club?
It is not, although Sarr's done well here and shoots wide of the right post as he looked at it from 22, 23 yards out. And Madrid is a brilliant city. If there was a city in which you would love to drown your sorrows until the early hours of the morning, Tottenham have it.
Is that what we're doing tonight, is it? Is that where you're going to take me? After watching this, after we've subjected this?
We're going to be preparing, Paul.
We're doing our
Real
notes
Madrid
for tomorrow.
Against Manchester City.
We are, absolutely.
Tomorrow night.
But I completely understand what you're saying about the Tottenham Hotspur supporters. I mean, as I just said there, it's not a cheap hobby following your football club, not only around your own country, but in Europe as well. And actually, the performance that they've seen tonight, it was kind of expected, though, wasn't it? I think we spoke before the game, and it was one of those, what do you expect from Tottenham tonight? And you were kind of hoping that this performance wasn't on the cards, but you could have understood it if it was. And it's been really poor, hasn't it? It's poor. It's
been really poor, but there is misfortune in this as well. I think we do need to say that because of the slips that led, and the 2 slips and a missed kick, really, for the first 3 goals. but then it felt like it was compounded by the decision to substitute the young goalkeeper and bring Vicario on for Kinski. Richarlison playing it forward, but Simone has it back for Atletico, who will go back to goalkeeper Oblak. Crucial save from him, from Richarlison.
It was a good save.
Could have been 4-2.
Yeah, it was a good save. And
Seconds later, it's 5-1.
It was almost an assist, wasn't it? I mean, he made the save and he parried it out, and within 3 passes, they were down the other end, Atletico Madrid. And the Tottenham fans, I'm looking up away to our left, they just stood there, hands in their pockets, looking at each other, talking to one another very, very quietly, just wondering, what are we watching? What does the future hold for this football club?
Free kick after Richarlison has left something on Llorente, I think, in centre field. He's down on his side. Bayern Munich. So Atletico Madrid are winning here 5-1 against Tottenham. Bayern Munich have a 4-goal lead in the first leg. They're now 4-0 up. Nicholas Jackson's got the 4th goal. Atalanta 0, Bayern Munich 4. And in the Championship, still as you were. Leicester 2, Bristol City 0, Millwall 1, Derby 0, Portsmouth 1, Swansea 2, Sheffield Wednesday still winning 1-0 against Watford, Wrexham 1, Hull City 2, and Stoke 2, Ipswich 1. And Llorente is still down. Referee's just coming across to speak to Romero. They've not brought the physio on, and actually the referee's saying, I'm not going to let you bring the physio on. They're standing on the side of the pitch. The 4th official is there as well. He got his right instep stood on, and Llorente's got to his feet and he's saying, I've got an injured foot. But I think the referee's saying, if you want treatment, you're going to leave the field.
Well, he's clearly fully qualified PhD with his doctorate, the referee. And to be fair, it's quite refreshing, actually. He's gone, look, there's nothing wrong with you, get on with it. And for all the protests and the physio and the doctor, he's carried on. And guess what? He's up and carrying on.
Well, it's not often you see that. And so the Dutch referee, Serdar Gozubayuk,
Dr. Serdar.
Dr. Gozubayuk, has said, no, I know what the problem is. Get up and get on with it, and he has. Well, that's a collector's item. As then Archie Gray with a little foul, and that's going to be a yellow card for Archie Gray. Incidentally, there were no fewer than 7 Atletico Madrid players who are on a yellow card and in danger of missing the second leg. 5-1 up. Do you want to use up a few of those yellow cards if you're Atletico Madrid? Llorente's on a yellow, Simeone's on a yellow, those on the field, Pubil and Lenormand. I wouldn't rule it out as a possibility. And we've got less than half an hour to play. So yes, if you are planning on listening to the radio tomorrow night as well, join us on 5 Live. There's going to be an early start on 5 Live as well. Ali Bruce Ball and Matt Upson are in Germany. So you'll hear Bayer Leverkusen against Arsenal from 5:45 on 5 Live. And then Real Madrid against Manchester City with us here in Madrid at the other stadium. My Atletico Madrid friend in the lift said, when I asked him about the match tomorrow night, he said, I need to be vaccinated to go to the Bernabeu. Here's Lookman, who slipped and actually might have handballed it, so it's a free kick to Tottenham in their own right back area. And yes, here
was that your colleague, was it?
It was Hugo, who is a great guy, commentates on Atletico Madrid and has done for, well, best part of 20 years. And also here on 5 Sports Extra tomorrow, the second day of the Cheltenham Festival, where we will be bringing you every race live. Sports Extra from 1 o'clock tomorrow afternoon.
Not been a good day for me, John.
Has it
No,
not?
Cheltenham and Tottenham. I'm looking forward to going to bed tonight.
Yeah. I thought you might have, with the journey that you've had today, making your way from the UK, I thought you might have parked that, but obviously not.
No, I did have a little look with our friend Mr. Dennis, and I don't think many of us have had much success today.
Okay, a Lookman. 5-1 to Atletico Madrid, and a free kick to Tottenham. It's not got the same intensity in the second half, but this Diego Simeone Atletico Madrid team, and I'm looking down there on him. And I did speak to my friend Hugo about, is this going to come to an end for Diego Simeone as Van de Ven curls it forward for Solanke, who does well and is firmly challenged by Lenormand, who tackled him, put the ball out of play to throw into Tottenham down the left. I did say to Hugo, is there a possibility that his time in charge, and it's over 14 years in the job now, whether that might come to an end at the end of the season? And he said there's a vague possibility of that.
He's only 55, isn't he? I mean, he doesn't look 55, and when he's on the pitch again, look, when you look at that, look, he's at least a yard on the pitch. And by the way, his team are 5-1 up with 25 minutes to go, and he's a yard and a half on the pitch.
He's got 1 foot on the pitch and 1 foot off the pitch. Danso with the throw into the Atletico area, bounces down. Well, it hit Solanke. He didn't really know much about it. It hit him and bounced straight to Oblak.
Yeah, that's the opportunities that Tottenham have had tonight. They've been few and far between, but they've come from set plays. Danso's long throw, it's always dangerous, a different trajectory of the ball when it comes into the penalty area. Half an opportunity for Romero, but nothing serious to trouble Atletico Madrid.
Just out of interest, because we've got a little bit of a lull now, 25 minutes to play, what's the minimum Tottenham would need to have a chance? 5-3?
They'd need 2 more, you'd think, wouldn't you? I mean, 1 probably not. That's the equivalent of what, 3-0. 2 more. Two's half a chance, because then you get the first goal back in your own stadium. There's a bit of a lift, but it's all about performance, and it's just not been there tonight for Tottenham. It really hasn't. They're so far off it.
Richarlison has taken a knock in centre field, and I saw Llorente getting involved in a little bit of something as well with Sarr down in the full-back position. The ball's out of play. Again, the referee's having none of that. Richarlison's down on the field. The referee has said to him, no, you're just going to have to get up and get on with it.
Referee, physio, doctor, fully qualified in all of them tonight. But to be fair, he's made every call correct.
I can tell you, it is now 6-0 to Bayern Munich. So Bayern Munich are now outdoing Atletico Madrid and winning 6-0 away from home. And that's got to be threatening the record books, with Elise and Musiala have scored 2 goals in 3 minutes. Atalanta 0, Bayern Munich 6. If you're a Tottenham supporter and you think this is bad, think yourself, lucky you're not an Atalanta fan in Bergamo tonight.
Yeah, but I think I'd take Atalanta's league position over Tottenham's at the moment.
Is a good point. Free kick to Atletico in the centre circle. Still Sheffield Wednesday lead by 1-0. Ipswich have come from 2-0 down to make it 2-2 at Stoke. And there's about 20 minutes left in that match. That was an 8 o'clock kickoff at Stoke. We are almost midway through the second half. Tottenham are going to make another change, and actually Atletico Madrid are going to make their first 2 changes. I see down there that Pablo Barrios is going to make his return from injury, and also their top scorer Alexander Sorloth is coming on, and Palhinha is going to be the next man on. He'll be the 4th player brought on by Igor Tudor, who's going across to put an arm around Palhinha before he sends him onto the pitch next time the ball is out of play, which it is now. So I think we will see these changes. So Palhinha coming on into the midfield. It's going to be Tottenham who make that change first. Igor Tudor just wanders away into the technical area, and it's Richarlison who will come off, having recently taken a bang. He has taken a couple of knocks. What have you made of him? It's his return to the starting lineup tonight.
I don't think you can really give any Tottenham player any type of credit this evening, the way that they've approached this game. Richarlison is a player I like from a personal point of view, because I like his attitude. I think you know what you're going to get with Richarlison. You're going to get a bit of fight, you're going to get a bit of bite, and that's what they don't have in this side at the moment. I look around at this Tottenham team, I see players now with their hands on their hips. There's no communication between them, there's no coming together, there's no like, let's get back in this, let's dig in together. But Richarlison is probably the one, actually, that I said to you in the first half, if Tottenham had 11 Richarlisons, they'd probably have a real good fight. They'd be horrible and they'd be hard to beat, but actually I've not seen that from them tonight.
So there's a popular substitution with Pablo Barrios, who's missed the last 10 matches. He is from Madrid, so he's a local boy, came through the academy after leaving Real Madrid, so he's on, and the man who opened the scoring, Marcus Llorente, is cheered off, and then cheered on is Alexander Sorloth, the Norwegian striker, who takes his place up front with Lookman, the player that he's replaced. But it's not bad when you can bring on Alexander Sorloth, who has scored 6 goals in his last 5 appearances, including a hat-trick in his last Champions League match against Club Brugge in the previous round, the knockout playoff round, and he scored on Saturday when they won against Sociedad. So he is bang in form, Sorloth. They're not too badly off, are they, Norway, with Haaland, Strand Larsen and Sorloth, as well as 1 or 2 others. Odegaard.
It's not a bad front three if you can make them work. It's playing a system that works for all three and getting the best out of the players that you've got, isn't it?
Yeah, and they're all centre forwards, aren't they, really? As the ball is played out for Tottenham. Atletico Madrid winning 5-1 in the first leg. Porro with the cross, Solanke's after it, but defender was there as well, and in the end, whatever contact he got on it, Oblak was able to dive on it to his left.
It's been very comfortable for Atletico Madrid in this second half. For all that Tottenham have been better, yes, they've caused 1 or 2 problems. Oblak's been very much underemployed in the goal, hasn't he? I mean, they've not created enough in the final third. They're just existing at the moment, Tottenham. It's really, really sad to watch, in all honesty.
A couple of important saves, though, from Oblak, but Atletico Madrid, they've had a field day, really, winning 5-1. So they've now matched the score in the previous meeting between these sides. Brilliant from Griezmann on the edge of the area, very nearly found Sorloth. What a touch that was from the former French international, as he is now, Griezmann. But he's, as I say, Paul, he's 34 years old, and if you'd said to me he was 24, if you ignored the grey hair, the dyed grey hair.
But at least he's got a choice, John. He chose to make his hair grey. I mean, he's 34 years old. What is it? 137 caps? I mean, it's incredible. His contract doesn't run out until 2027, so he's here for a while yet. But what a quality player he is. He's one of those footballers that's just naturally gifted.
Yes, he is. With his club record, well, he's extended it tonight with the goal that he scored to make it 2-0. That was his 211th goal for Atletico Madrid, top of the list in the all-time standings for this great club that has never won the European Cup / Champions League. They've reached 3 finals, and in 1974, 2014 and 2016 they were on the wrong side of bad fortune. Should have won it in 74, might well have won it in 2014, and in 2016 they lost in a penalty shootout. And what makes it more agonising is that the previous 2 Champions League final defeats were against Real Madrid. Atletico Madrid, but they're having a great night tonight, and have probably got this tie already won. I'm not sure whether anyone would necessarily forecast the possibility of turning this round. I wonder what the old supercomputers would say. 0.05% chance?
That much? That would surprise me, especially if they were watching the way that Tottenham played tonight. I'm not so sure that the computer would predict that. It's been a really poor, disappointing performance. I'm looking down at the pitch now as Atletico Madrid make another substitution. Archie Gray's talking to Danzo. There's a couple of the players, but the body language of the Tottenham players, the shoulders are down. There just seems to be a lack of fight and energy.
Well, it's going to be 2-goal. Julian Alvarez, who leaves the field, and coming on to replace him, the on-loan Juventus winger Nico Gonzalez, who scored 2 of the goals in that win against Sociedad at the weekend. What about Julian Alvarez, Paul, who had a really big money move? It's over £80 million that Atletico Madrid paid for him from Manchester City, where, you know, he did extremely well, didn't he? But just wanted to start more matches.
Well, he was exceptional at River Plate, hence the reason that Manchester City brought him to the Premier League. And I think his lack of opportunities at Manchester City was what frustrated him. But he's come here now and he looks fit, he looks sharp, and obviously his goal-scoring record this season probably goes back to the reason that Manchester City first brought him in.
5-1 to Atletico Madrid. This is BBC Radio 5 Sports Extra. It is still Newcastle 0, Barcelona 0 in the first leg at St James's Park. That is on 5 Live. Here's Spence as Tottenham attack, trying to find that second goal. Spence, his ball into the area was blocked, and it was cleared away by Barrios, where it's kneed out of play by Romero. We're into the last 20 minutes of this first leg now. For Tottenham, it simply must not get any worse, and they need to score a couple of goals. This is
done. It's done.
Yeah,
that's what it is, John. It's done. Not just this game here tonight, but the tie is done. I mean, we're entering the 75th minute now. Atletico Madrid, they're so comfortable in this tie. Tottenham, they're just hanging on. They're just staying in. They're playing a game that they've got no chance of getting anything from. And then when you look at the second leg at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium at 5-1 down, realistically, what are they going to do when they've got the Premier League to concentrate on?
Absolutely right. Tottenham with the ball in the central third. Just got to be professional and see if they can get one goal back. Spence back to Van de Ven, then to Romero, and then all the way back to Vicario. As Vicario goes long, right-footed, downfield. Atletico Madrid pick up the loose ball. It's a slip as well by Spence, as it was carried forward from the halfway line by, that's Hansko again, the central defender. He loves to come forward, doesn't he, David Hansko? But Atletico have actually gone all the way back to goalkeeper Oblak, who passes it out. He's given it away to Pedro Porro. Solanke turns and scores, and Tottenham have got a second goal. And Oblak again, he's made mistake after mistake tonight. Passed it straight to Porro. Excellent finish from Solanke. Atletico Madrid 5, Tottenham 2.
Well, this is just a game littered with mistakes from goalkeepers. I mean, he's just gifted that Jan Oblak. It's such a simple ball. He tries to play. I mean, the only way you can describe it is the ball's played back to the goalkeeper, and he plays that straight pass into midfield. You look for the third man bounce, what would they call it? And he plays a straight ball into midfield. Pedro Porro intercepts it, plays it to Solanke. And to be fair to Solanke, he's still got a fair bit to do from where he is. It's a really good finish from Dominic Solanke. It's 5-2. I mean, Tottenham are still nowhere near, but actually Jan Oblak has gifted Tottenham 2 goals tonight. Kinski did that, and he got substituted.
Good point. Atletico Madrid 5, Tottenham 2. Less than 15 minutes to play. But Tottenham, I talked about getting a second goal back and maybe getting a third. Well, they might have a chance to do that now. Very soon, 5 Live will be joining us for an update on that goal as Tottenham cross across the penalty area, and it comes off Spence and bounces behind for the goal kick. Another goal from a mistake, but it's another Tottenham goal. Oblak passed it straight out to Porro, into Solanke. He scored, and it's now Atletico Madrid 5, Tottenham 2. And we will continue on 5 Sports Extra after updating 5 Live on the news that Dominic Solanke has just scored what is his 6th goal of the season and his 3rd in the Champions League. So 5-2 it is. It is still Newcastle 0, Barcelona 0, incidentally. It's finished at Leicester, who've won. First win under Gary Rowett. Leicester have beaten Bristol City by 2-0, and Wrexham have lost 2-1 at home to Hull City. I wonder whether there's any sort of carry-on from the exertions that they put in, and actually the injuries and suspension that they picked up on Saturday night in the FA Cup. And Hull City, of course, an important win for them. Hull coming into tonight in 5th place, 1 place above Wrexham. Tottenham coming forward with Solanke. Solanke into the full-back position. His cross into the area, stretch, a touch, out to Spence. Spence is in the box, angles tight. Then he plays it back to Van de Ven, who shoots, but he got right underneath that, and he's lifted it high into the Atletico Madrid fans behind the goal to our left.
Well, Atletico Madrid have given Tottenham too many chances to get something out of this game. On the right-hand side, Dominic Solanke finds himself in the channel. It's Archie Gray who initially plays the ball into Solanke's path, who in turn reverses the ball across the 6-yard box. Archie Gray's full stretch, can't quite make enough purchase on the ball to make a threat on goal, but decent effort again from Tottenham.
We've got Just over 10 minutes to play. Atletico Madrid 5, Tottenham 2. So Porro and Solanke, the goal scorers for Spurs. And Atletico Madrid, Llorente, Griezmann, 2 for Alvarez and 1 for Lenormand.
Do you know what, John? They've looked better since Solanke's come on. He's had a little bit of fight. He's one of those type of players. When you're in this type of position, what Tottenham, when you look around the team, and we speak quite often about relegation battles, and you look at the teams around Tottenham, Nottingham Forest, Leeds, West Ham, etc. You look at the players that they've got in their side, the fighters, the battlers. Solanke's one of those. I don't see many others in the Tottenham team.
We'll be on 5 Live until 10:30 tonight, UK time. And I see Koke is going to be brought on into the Atletico Madrid midfield the next time the ball goes out of play. And all the reaction, if you don't hear it on 5 Live tonight, then the Football Daily will be there on your BBC Sounds app for all of the reaction and to hear what Igor Tudor has to say after this and his reasoning for substituting the young goalkeeper Kinski in the 17th minute of the match as a yellow card is shown to Danso, I think.
There is so much fallout from this game, there really is. I mean, there was many subplots before this game. There were so many questions about Tottenham, about the way that they were playing, team selection, about the manager, etc. But he's got some big questions to answer after this game.
And now it's Griezmann who is going to be substituted. What a match he's had tonight. I feel that he was the catalyst really for Atletico Madrid for the umpteenth time. So we've got 2 of the Atletico Madrid greats here. Griezmann leaving the field and Koke coming on, the 34-year-old. So both 34 years old. Koke coming on for what is a club record 725th appearance in all competitions.
It's like conducting an orchestra, isn't it, when Griezmann's on the pitch when he's playing like that. When Atletico Madrid are playing in this way, Griezmann, he seems to find space, he finds holes, he's always available for a pass. His intelligence and football knowledge and ability is second to none.
And also Diego Simeone, the Atletico Madrid coach, presumably thinking, well, Tottenham have got another goal back, probably like I was earlier, thinking if Spurs were able to bring it back to 5-3, but he's thought, right, Griezmann off, Koke comes on, we're going to pack that midfield and make sure that Tottenham don't get that 3rd goal.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right, John. They're stacking that midfield, and 5-2 is very different to 5-3. Because as we said, you asked me the question earlier, what would be a little bit of hope for Tottenham? And my answer was 5-3. So Diego Simeone, by making that change, has probably ensured, or trying to ensure, that doesn't happen.
Newcastle have scored against Barcelona. Harvey Barnes in the 86th minute. So Newcastle are in front. Listen to the finale and the climax of that match on 5 Live now. A big win for Millwall against Derby in the Championship. That's finished 1-0 to Millwall. Portsmouth 1, Swansea 2 is the final score there. And I will run you through the final scores in League One as well, as the ball's out of play. Barnsley 1, Cardiff 1, Doncaster 1, Luton 1. Lincoln, the leaders, have won 1-0 at Exeter. Mansfield have won 1-0 against Reading after their FA Cup tie against Arsenal at the weekend. Wigan 0, Plymouth 3, and they're still playing Stevenage 1, Leyton Orient 2. Spurs are going to bring on Xavi Simons. So with Atletico Madrid making the defensive changes, Igor Tudor is saying, right, I'm going to bring on Simons and see if we can get that 3rd goal.
Just looks to me with Igor Tudor that he's always looking for something. You know, he's never set on a formation. The 3 games that he had prior to this, different formations, different personnel. Started this game with a different formation, different personnel. It's changed numerous times during the course of this game. He's looking for something that he can't find.
In League Two, struggling Barrow have lost 2-0 at home to Bristol Rovers, who are not out of trouble themselves. Fleetwood 2, Cheltenham 2, it's finished. Gillingham 1, MK Dons 5, and Salford have won 1-0 against Walsall as they continue to push for promotion. And it has finished Stevenage 1, Leyton Orient 2. Ipswich have taken the lead from 2-0 down. George Hurst has scored to make it 3-2. Stoke 2, Ipswich 3. That is a crucial late goal for Ipswich. 5-2, and we have 6 minutes plus added time left to play. as Tottenham concede a free kick on the halfway line, a foul on Koke, and a free kick to the home side, to Diego Simeone's team, dressed all in black down there. I'm not sure I've ever seen him
I was going to say, does he wear anything else
other than all black? And very often, I've not noticed tonight, he'll actually go black suit, black shoes, black shirt and black tie.
Standard. That's what he always wears. Whenever you picture Diego Simeone, we don't even need to describe him to our listeners. You know exactly what he looks like.
Yeah. And he's poised down there. I've called him many times when I've commentated on him over the years.
Have you interviewed him many times, John?
No, he hardly speaks any English.
Right.
I've been in his media conferences, but it's always has to be done through the translator. And even now, he's all full of animation. I call him the gunslinger. He looks as though he could be in a Clint Eastwood spaghetti western. You could see him, couldn't you? Pushing open the swinging doors of the bar with his 6 guns in his holsters.
Do you think his lack of English, if that is the case, stopped him ever coming to the Premier League? Because he's been here since 2011, such a long time at the club.
Yes, I do.
He's an incredible manager, defensive record, etc. Why has he not tested himself in the Premier League? Do you think that's one of the reasons?
I do. And actually, my friend Hugo, we were having that very conversation earlier, as Tottenham concede a free kick. And I think that might have been a flailing arm by Romero on Simeone Jr. And that's a yellow card for Christian Romero.
Dad was nearly on the pitch. He'll sort it out. It was right in front of his dad as well, wasn't it?
I have a feeling that Giuliano Simeone can look after himself. He doesn't need Dad. 5 minutes to play. Yeah, hand in the face from Romero. The referee spotted that well. And free kick. Koke to take it for Atletico. That's headed away at the far side of the penalty area for Polina. Tottenham could be away here if Simons, but he's forced wide actually by Barrios, and actually by the time Tottenham had runners there, if Simons had been able to play the early pass, that could have been the counter-attack, but Tottenham have actually ended up going backwards, and now they've lost possession, and Sarr loses possession, and Van der Ven had to tidy that up. And actually I think he got stepped on, and he's got a sore foot. And then excellent challenge, centre field on Simons by Barrios and by Cardoso. Excellent challenge that was by the American international, who incidentally is the man who's being watched by Mauricio Pochettino this evening, and I suspect probably knows that all too well, and that will not have gone amiss.
Yeah, I'm not so sure that Mauricio Pochettino was here just to watch Johnny Cardoso this evening, although USA International will be looking forward to a home World Cup signed this season from Real Betis. Been a good signing for Atletico. I think he's a superb central defensive type midfielder, one that Pochettino will be keen to employ during the World Cup. But if this was any type of audition for this Tottenham side in front of Pochettino, they've failed miserably.
Atletico Madrid 5, Tottenham 2, still Newcastle 1, Barcelona 0.
Can you imagine the atmosphere there?
No,
what an atmosphere that would have been when that goal went in.
Ian Dennis and Chris Waddle with the commentary over on 5 Live. Tomorrow night, more Champions League action and an early start again tomorrow night. Bayer Leverkusen against Arsenal on 5 live from inside the Bayer Arena from 5:45, and then tomorrow night Real Madrid against Manchester City with you and me from the Bernabeu, from Cabina 8, and I'm struggling to believe that it will be as eventful as what we've seen tonight, but you never know.
Cabina 8, is that our commentary position? Is that where we sit? Is that the box that we sit in?
Yes, it is.
Well, I was going to say when in Rome, but when in Madrid we may as well stay and do another one, haven't we?
Well, why not? Why not? And the Tottenham supporters, I mean the section which is high up in the stand to our left, I mean thousands have left, and there are only really maybe a couple of hundred as Atletico Madrid come through the middle. It bounces back. Vicario has to come out and make the save, but the free kick has already been given against for Porro, who was shoved over by the surging Nico Gonzalez.
Yeah, a good piece of defending that by Pedro Porro. He was probably half at fault for the last Atletico Madrid goal when they broke away. He gave up on his recovery run. That time he actually put his body on the line, got himself between the ball and the goalkeeper, made a decisive challenge.
So around about 90 seconds to go. Tottenham need this goal. I mean, top level sport. It might be 5-2. You can't give it up. If you're on there on the pitch, you've got to go for that goal to try and make it 5-3.
It's a Champions League. 100% they've got to go for that goal. One goal makes a massive, massive difference. Yes, they've been awful. Yes, they've conceded 5. But actually 5-2, yes, the tie is done. 5-3, you score one goal, the first goal at home. It's a different, it's a different story.
Ball is played back to Vicario with Solot closing him down. Right-footed clearance to the halfway line. That's headed forward by Cardoso for Atletico Madrid. Koke is in on the challenge, but that's excellent from Polina, actually, who snapped in the Tottenham number 6 on loan from Bayern Munich. Ball down on the halfway line with Simons, then Polina, all the way back to Romero, who puts his foot on it, passes it forward to Sarr. Tottenham now in the 90th minute. Sarr carrying the ball forward and giving it here to the left-hand side to Archie Gray. Now Polina again drags it back, gives it to Gray, who's virtually on the left wing with Van de Ven in front of him. And then again Polina, red and white stripes, 2 lines of them in front of Tottenham as they try to bring the ball forward. Gray back to Polina. 3 minutes of added time to be played, and now Danso is able to step forward. Oh, couldn't find the pass. Actually played it one way, Solanke went the other, and Atletico Madrid were able to clear. But in the closing stages, it's Tottenham dominating the possession.
Well, they're having a go. I mean, Atletico are setting that defensive shape now. They've got the back 4, back 5, if you count the right wing back that's dropped in. Substitute, the Koke that's come on, is sat in front of that back 5. They're quite happy with what they've got, and as they should be. Although you look at Diego Simeone once again, he's almost on the pitch and the ball's in front of him.
3 minutes of added time here, and I can tell you that Barcelona have been awarded a penalty, and it is 1-1. Barcelona have scored from the penalty spot, and it is Newcastle 1, Barcelona 1, and that is in the 7th minute of added time, and that is absolute agony for Newcastle. So 1-1. That continues on 5 Live, and that must be just about done as Atletico Madrid try to come forward. Danso is able to get a foot on that, bounces back to the halfway line where Barrios here to the right to Simeone, young Simeone, then Koke just opens up for Koke actually to pass it to the edge of the penalty area. Poor touch from Solot, miscontrolled it up in the air, and then 2 Tottenham players have collided, have clashed heads as both of them went to head the ball away after Solot miscontrolled it, and I think it's Romero and Polina who will both need treatment, and it was Lamine Yamal who scored from the penalty spot to make it 1-1 at St James's Park.
Yeah, that's clumsy from the 2 Spurs defenders. They've both collided heads. I mean, it doesn't look pretty. Both of them laid flat out at the moment. Physios and doctors on from both sides.
So we'll have a stoppage here in the 2nd minute of added time, and how many changes have Spurs made now already? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So they've made the 5 changes, but of course if it's a head injury they would be able to make further changes, which it is. So a stoppage, Paul, to reflect on what we've seen tonight, and really that first half hour, and in particular really the first quarter of the match, where it went 1-0, 2-0, 3-0, 4-0 as Tottenham made slip, mistake, error after error, and also their young goalkeeper Antonin Kinski was substituted off when it was 3-0 by Igor Tudor. It was, I'm not sure I've seen the like.
I know we're going to talk at length at the final whistle, and we'll dissect every piece of this performance, but actually this has been really poor from Tottenham tonight. It couldn't be any worse, in all honesty. They've got themselves half into the tie by scoring the 2 goals, but the manager substituting the goalkeeper after 16, 17 minutes, he looks devoid of ideas. He's played 3 different formations, he's played different personnel in different positions. He's not the right man. I'm going to make a bold statement. He is not the right man, and he's not in the right place at the moment. He is not the manager that Tottenham needed right now. They needed somebody who could come in, put their arm around players, not criticise the players, because all you can work with is what you've got. You can work with the players that you've got in the dressing room. You do not need any of the players in the dressing room turning against you because you're criticising them or speaking wrongly of the players. Like them, think they're a good player, think they're a good person, whatever your opinion of them is, you have to put that to one side because you need the best out of what you've got in front of you, and he hasn't done that. Everything about the manager, listen, he did a good job at Udinese, but Udinese compared to Tottenham Hotspur is a massive football club. Udinese, he did well. They weren't in the bottom three when he went there. He saved them from relegation, granted, but they weren't in the bottom three when he went there. It wasn't a huge job to do. He's come here to Tottenham, and at the moment, to me, from the outside looking in, I have no inside information. I don't speak to people inside the club other than a couple of friends that I've got there. It's just not the right fit at the moment. It really doesn't. And from the first half performance, it's not right, John. It really isn't.
And Paul Robinson speaking here because we've had a long stoppage for treatment for Christian Romero and for João Palhinha. And Christian Romero, after the two of them teammates clashed heads on the edge of their own box, I have to say Christian Romero's been brought all the way to the halfway line. He looks very groggy. So does João Palhinha. And with the really crippling injury list that Tottenham are currently dealing with, and that does need to be mentioned again because it's a fact. And two players tonight, Basuma and Sousa, who are ineligible for the Champions League as well, so they couldn't play. And they are both. It may well be that João Palhinha is going to have to come off the field. Romero's still on there. I think the suggestion is that maybe he should come off, and that of course will bring into question whether they're going to be able to play against Liverpool with the head injury protocol at Anfield on Sunday.
Yeah, the concussion protocol obviously comes into consideration there. Palhinha, the substitute that's come on, is immediately gone down the tunnel holding his head, so you would think that he would definitely fall into that category. Another problem for the manager.
So we've played 5 minutes of added time. I think Five Live might be about to join us, which they are now. Hello, yes, we're with Paul Robinson here on Sports Extra, and Atletico Madrid 5, Tottenham 2 is the score. We're into where we've had 3 minutes of added time, but we've had a lengthy stoppage here because Romero and Palhinha clashed heads. Palhinha's had to come off the field, and Christian Romero has just gone down on his haunches on the halfway line. Several of his players, his teammates, have come around him and they've suggested he can't continue. So that's another part of the story tonight. It's entirely possible that Romero and Palhinha, having received head injuries with the protocol, it may well be that they're not able to be involved against Liverpool at Anfield on Sunday, Paul Robinson. What a night they've had, Tottenham, here.
I mean, the final whistle, as you can probably hear, has just gone in the background, and Tottenham have ended the game with 9 players on the pitch.
There it is. The full-time whistle goes here in the Metropolitano, and Atletico Madrid supporters celebrate wildly. What a night they've had, but this has been a nightmare for Tottenham, particularly the first quarter of the match when there was Tottenham mistake after Tottenham mistake, Atletico Madrid goal after goal. It went 1-0, 2-0, 3-0, 4-0. At 3-0, Igor Tudor substituted off his young goalkeeper Antonin Kinski, brought on Vicario. In the end, a scoreline of 5-2. The tide's long gone, hasn't it, Paul, surely?
It's been a very, very disappointing night for Tottenham. We came into the night thinking, is this of any importance to Tottenham? The important thing for Tottenham tonight was that they had some kind of performance that they could go forward with, some kind of confidence, some kind of anything to take forward into the Premier League. It has been an absolute disaster. That's the only word you can use for Tottenham tonight. From minute one, they were awful. Went 3-0 down, goalkeeper mistakes, and I'm sure we're going to talk about it at length. The goalkeeper was substituted after 16 minutes. It's unprecedented. It's never been heard of. And from that point on, it just looked like a side that was devoid of confidence, devoid of ideas. I'm genuine. I know we spoke about it in commentary. I'm not so sure how long this manager has got. I really haven't, because that was awful.
Yeah, remarkable night here as Atletico Madrid's players celebrate with their fans. But for Tottenham, it has simply gone from bad to much, much worse. 6 defeats in a row in all competitions. Igor Tudor has lost 4 out of 4, and it looks as though almost certainly that's it for them in the Champions League this season, despite the second leg to come in London next week. Atletico Madrid winning 5-2 against Tottenham.
John Murray, as you said, it's gone from bad to much, much worse. It looks as though that's the end of Tottenham's Champions League campaign as they take that 5-2 defeat back to the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. And Paul, it's happened in a season where it felt it couldn't get much worse for Tottenham.
This is just the game that they didn't need. You know, we spoke before the game about, you know, what can Tottenham come out of this with. Actually, he's picked a fairly strong side. I think he changed the goalkeeper tonight because Vicario has been poor, with the intention of maybe keeping Kinski in going forward to the end of the season if he did well. I mean, he substituted the goalkeeper, 22-year-old goalkeeper, he substituted him after 16 minutes, and the team looked devoid of confidence, devoid of ideas. And just looking at them now leaving the field, the body language, you know, the shoulders are down, that there's no kind of camaraderie between the players. And yes, we can criticise the manager, and I will criticise the manager because I don't think he's the right man. I don't think he's the right fit. I don't think what he's done at Tottenham, he's looking for answers and he's not found any answers whatsoever. What I've seen from the manager suggests that they're going to go forward in any way, shape or form. But from a player's point of view, you have to have a personal and professional pride when you cross that white line as a team. You know, if you're going to be resilient as 11 players against 11 players and you say, we're going to try and stop you scoring, we're going to make it hard for you, I just didn't see anything in the first half. It was one of, if not the worst performance I've seen from them. I watched them play. I sat on my sofa at home the other night against Crystal Palace, looking forward to watching the game, thinking this could be the springboard for the rest of the season. And I thought that was the lowest ebb. Tonight was worse.